All right, I looked at the stuff that you sent, Scott.
Yeah.
Um, and did they? I think they released more stuff. But I haven't seen any real new names come out.
Oh, and Epstein.
Yeah, let me. I'm
Um,
gonna look real quick right before we start.
I seen a thing, man, saying that that's nowhere near
Okay,
the list. The
thank you,
200 that they were saying
thank you. Yeah,
is not supposed to be anywhere near the list. Like now, there's a group that's demanding that the actual full freaking list come out. So honestly, dude, it's hard to tell. If that's the case, it is honestly hard to tell who all's on the list.
did we say the independent? Did we say that we trusted that or
It
that?
seems to be a pretty decent one.
All right. I'm gonna look at this real quick and then we can get started. We got plenty of other stuff to talk about if there's not on here. Let me see if there's anything else on here. I love when you're trying to look for something, right? And there's 52 like little commercials and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Some of them are just straight up
uh,
clickbait, and you'll open it up and it's just an ad.
no, so far, yeah, so far everything looks like. Other than did we have Chris Tucker on the other one?
Uh, that
I
I'm not
don't.
sure, but I did hear that he was on that he was one of the ones that was going to be on the list, but I don't think it was on the other list.
All right, all right, okay.
All right, Queen, no problem.
Hey, Mystic, appreciate it, man.
I gotta restart my computer. My It's doing that thing where my browser won't let me type.
Okay,
Sometimes this laptop for whatever reason quits typing. Oh, my college courses, man. I think I'm gonna wait until May. That puts me in the 24, 25 FAFSA shit.
okay.
Which I fucked up and I filled that one out instead of the 23, 24, which it would have been getting a head start. I wouldn't have had to fill out the next one again. But the dude gave me a link and a member ID thing to where I can use that member ID to get like a pretty nice discount from Dell on a laptop. So because I'm not using my gaming PC for school shit. I have too little memory already on my PC.
So you're thinking about starting in May?
Appreciate you. Yeah, 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 May.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at 6 years, I guess, man. 6 years, I'll be able to have my own office and shit, and not have to work under anybody.
Yep, that sounds good. I'm probably gonna be at like 2.5 years,
Yeah, yeah,
and that should be good. But yeah, that's worth it, man. You could actually have an office anywhere
yeah. And I
at your
mean,
house.
that was my whole objective, anyways. Like, I'd probably get one of those little small building things, and have an office there. That way, none of those people knew where I live. I don't
Yeah,
I don't want to be treating an addict, and then they'd be like, "Look at that gaming PC," and
I mean you got a point. All right, I got everybody.
All
So
right,
let's
now,
go ahead and let's go ahead and start.
all right,
Um, yep, somebody just came on, of course.
I'm just refreshing all my pages. If I do it
All
to
right.
where I don't close my Explorer out, and I restart, then I can restore the pages that I had up. So it makes it a hell of a lot easier than pulling everybody up again.
All right, everybody. We, you know what, Scott?
Huh?
how the heck are we gonna? How far back can you go on your VODs?
That I don't know. I really don't
Because
know.
I've recorded some of these on my PC, but I need to go back into the VODs.
Yes,
And
some of the good ones we didn't even have recorded.
I
Like,
know.
the Stephen Hawking thing.
Yeah, I
I
know.
feel like people need to see that, man. Like,
Yeah.
come over here. Hop on these nuts.
I think I think I think I'm gonna have to.
You think Stephen Hawking's ever said these nuts in his life?
Maybe. Let me introduce you to my wormhole.
Wait a
Freaking
minute.
honky.
Wait a minute. Was he getting fucked or was he fucking? if
I
he's
don't know
inter-
what he was
if
doing.
he's introducing them to his wormhole, that's
I mean,
I
what
guess.
might come out of that wormhole, you know? Hell is opening, Sean said. Yeah. I mean, here's okay, here's my thing.
There we
I
go.
don't I don't want to make fun of anybody, but come on,
Hey,
man.
when you do shit
I
like
always I
that,
always felt like I always felt, kind of bad for that guy
yeah, yeah,
because of everything and he was so smart. But if that dude went there and was with underage girls, like,
yeah.
allegedly with underage
I think
girls,
he's one of the ones they pretty much just straight up said he was doing it.
yeah, I don't think he was one that was just like just kind of mentioned or anything. I
Yeah, he
think,
that the the parts I heard he was mentioning, he had like 3 orgies on the island. Um, now
yeah.
maybe it wasn't underage people, but from the sounds of it, it probably was. That's the only thing I'm not sure about if they were underage or not. But who in there? It would have had to have been no amount of money. Nobody could have came up to me and said, "I'll give you $10 million if you give Stephen Hawking a hand job." Hell no. Fuck no.
I don't know. 10 million is a lot of money.
No.
10 million is a lot of money.
I'll stay broke. Now, they could have been like Brad Pitt. I might have been like, all right, here.
Oh no, you wouldn't. You'd be looking right into his beautiful eyes.
James Franco. I'd be like, hey, what's up?
Uh,
Speaking of which,
he said he would do it for a case of Dr. Pepper.
wait a minute. I'm bringing a case of Dr. Pepper to Australia with me.
Yeah, I'm on my way,
We're
Cindy, with a
going to
case.
test
I'm
that.
going with about 7 cases. Oh, jeez, man.
We're going to test that theory out.
Um,
Is Dub on?
I when I checked, he wasn't. I'm
Uh,
just glad to see him.
yeah,
Um, Anyway, we already talked
he
some
is not.
bullshit already, but another
that'll have
episode of
to
Hanging
that'll
with
have to
the
be
Fellas
edited out
podcast.
too, man.
Huh?
See that's what I'm saying, man. The good shit has to be edited out. Like, who
Now,
wouldn't want to watch
now with
somebody
that,
sitting here talking about giving Stephen Hawking a hand job, closing the eyes?
now I saw some podcasters doing that exact same thing. So,
On
and they
YouTube?
and think it was on YouTube. Oh, it was a TikTok clip.
But are
But
they monetized, though? That's the
I'll
thing.
have to
Like,
check and see. Like,
because
I
some of
don't
them get popular, like, and then they start not really giving a shit what they say, because they aren't using the platform itself to make the money. They're just using that to advertise the podcast. But
yeah. Now, I did see a guy today. Um, let's see. All right, let me check. I did see a guy today that was I was watching his thing about how to grow your stream and all this stuff. And he said, of course, like everybody, Scott, um post short content, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Now he was saying, which I can't do unless I do restream or something.
yeah,
Um, you know, I can't go straight to YouTube. I'm on Kick.
yeah,
I could stream on YouTube also. Um, but he was saying you post your short content and he's like people are lazy. And he made a good point cuz people are lazy. Um he's like they don't want to switch platforms.
yeah,
They don't want to take the time to go to somewhere else. So they'll just, if you're on YouTube, also, they just go right to your YouTube.
yeah.
Oh my God, Vice clip something again.
Well,
Vice is gonna get us every time, man. Vice has already Vice has already got some short. We could put that on some short content, man. um, but yeah, he was saying that. But dude, I stream on Kick, man.
Yeah.
And if Restream didn't have such a delay to it, um, I would definitely think about um
What's my damn? I think it's Mr. Steal Your Granny, isn't it? My
what
name on Discord.
I think so.
I think that's what it is. But I haven't did any. I don't know if you guys have role stuff and all that. That you have Queen. I haven't did any of that yet. I just went ahead and clicked the link and got the Discord. Vice, there was some really, really important topics right before you came in.
uh, yeah, don't let Granny lie to you.
Vice is like he is on top of it, man. Like the mods, you got him and Lobo, Smackbird, Bird Mama.
Hmm.
They're all awesome. Am I missing any?
I
That's
mean,
that's
you
my
you
primary
got
ones.
you got like Dope
Yeah,
Boy and
Dope Boy,
Unheard coming in
Unheard.
sometimes.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Uh,
tell Queen I will get it after the stream. I made a note uh to join the Discord.
yeah, I'll have to
Just
go through and probably accept rules and roles and shit.
yeah. Seen said thanks, Scott.
I will a
Oh,
million percent be posting that, Vice.
Seen
A million
Seen
percent.
doesn't really like clip anything. Seen comes in and tries to make me laugh at the worst. He's
Yeah,
the mod that
yeah.
tries to make me laugh. Like if somebody's talking about like cancer or vets not getting their pay or something like that, then here comes Seen to make.
Cine got mod roll in my shit as a privilege for being a IRL friend.
Mm,
He's a hell of a dude and he's got a hot mom.
he is he's a hell of an Australian. All right. All right, fella. So Epstein's list. Although I did see some stuff today where um another like a girl said some stuff about Trump, and then some girls said stuff about Clinton and a couple other people, Weinstein.
Well, you know what's
Um,
gonna happen now. Anybody who appears on any list, even if they just talk to somebody, anybody who appears on any list now is gonna have some sort of allegations from somebody who's trying to get money. Like I think Bill Clinton touched my pecker back in the day. I
did he?
remember it, man. It scarred me for life. Uh, I think I should bring it up since he's on the list.
Is that where he got the? Is that where he first started saying, "I did not inhale"?
Yeah, yep. He inhaled though. He engulfed it.
Yeah, and that, like we've said a million times, uh, alleged,
Well,
alleged.
and you know how people are, man. They like we have people in our family that will literally look to sue people for anything. And if people find out that they can make some easy money like that, man, why not? I mean, even if they don't win, they're gaining the popularity off of it.
Yeah, Vice. I think that's probably what we're gonna do. I'm probably just gonna. Um, I may edit like the beginning a little bit and the end a little bit, but I'm probably just gonna put them on there, and then I'll put like clips. I got to be better. You do a good job for us, man. Appreciate it. And some of the others getting clips for us as we go. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to put some short clips out there, just how they are, man, and then throw the videos up
Yeah, yeah.
so that people, because 3 out of our 4 days online, Scott, we're podcasting.
How interested would you have ever been in Eminem's music if all you heard was censored versions of
True,
it? You know, because the best
true.
parts, they can't even put in.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean, what the heck? We just need to do it now. I can't even imagine a four. How long did you say a 4 hour video? Didn't you put a 4 hour video on there one time?
Yeah, I can't remember. It actually wasn't as bad as what I thought it was gonna be. Uh, but see, the thing is, like, cause you got to go through like CapCut or like Clipchamp or something like
Microsoft Clip
that
Champ. Yeah.
to cut out like the. We always have a little bit of like a bullshit talk beforehand, so you just kind of cut out to where it starts.
Some of the bullshit talk at the beginning's pretty
Yeah, it's
good
pretty
though.
funny too, though.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Trevor, how's it going?
Cosmic.
Um, is Kate and Trump in a menage a trois allegedly? Okay, where did you get that one from, Steenie?
Wait, Kate Blanchett?
I guess that's what he's talking about. Or are you talking about Kate, the maybe the next Queen of England, Kate? I
That
can't think of her
wasn't
last name.
that wasn't fucking Trump. That was me. What the hell?
What the hell? Oh, Vice. Not only would Granny do it for 10 million to Hawkins, he would stare. That fella would look lovingly into the eyes of Brad Pitt or Franco or freaking. Uh, what about you take somebody like Jack Black? Would you? would, would
The only one I would have did it to is dead. Chris Farley.
Chris Farley?
Could you
Uh,
imagine? How? All right. I want you just for a second to get this visual image in your head. Everybody out there,
oh,
get this
great!
visual image in your head.
Can't
All right.
wait.
You're down
Yep.
there, right?
Yeah.
You're unzipping Hawkins. You're
Yeah.
expecting it not to do anything because the dude's just laying there like, and all of a sudden he starts getting that chub, man, and it starts rising up and it's looking right at you, right?
Mhm.
So you go down on that thing and you look back over at him and he's sitting there like that and he's got that drool coming out and he's like, put it in your mouth. How could you do it? Like,
But
how the
but
hell
then,
could you do
but
it?
then, but then you look over and you see the table full of bills. This
Yeah, but ain't no way you look at that dude in the
uh,
eye.
didn't you say at one time, Scott? I'm pretty sure you said it, or maybe it was Cini, that you would take an anal probe just for humanity, just to save humanity.
It must have been Cini.
Must have been
But
Cini.
I did
Okay.
tell Cini's mom that that's why she was taking one was for humanity, and she did it.
Oh God. It still it blows my damn mind. I never that's the one. I mean, there's people on there where I'm like, really? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But the Steven, dude, that one's just out there, man.
I mean, if you remember, we were so shocked that Liberty had to look up whether or not he could actually get an erection.
I know. I wasn't gonna have that on my freaking history.
You know
Um,
who would have? If Pickle
hmm.
would have been in here, Pickle would have looked it up in a
Oh,
heartbeat.
Pickles' history is just, I don't even want to know.
He would have
That would
probably
be
been
like,
describing it.
oh, that would be, could you imagine his search history, Scott?
Oh, he's on a watch list.
Oh, that would be like, you would see that search history and your mind would explode, man. Yeah, that's true, Liberty. She said, can we get off Stephen Hawking's? Everybody else has. uh,
I don't think there's any amount of money in the world, man. I don't think you can set a price on that. What would it take? How much money would it take for you to do
all right. Saney said he would do it for a case of Dr. Pepper.
it?
Hmm.
They
For
say
Steve?
everything has a price tag, right?
Yeah, yeah.
For you to back that thing up and
Now,
set on
okay,
Stephen
I'm going to
Hawking's
give you
lap.
this, Scott. I'm going to give you this. My price would depend on the endowment of Stephen Hawking. If that dude is a Vienna sausage, the price is lower. If that dude is freaking like, if that dude is, half man, half horse, the price goes up. So it just depends,
All
man.
right, so the Vienna sausage price.
Hmm. I mean, you got to give, just like at a store, right, Scott? You go and buy like a 32-ounce steak. It's going to be more than if you buy like a 6-ounce
Yeah,
steak.
you paying the as it inflates, you paying more.
Right, as it inflates. Now,
Yeah,
hey, that's something else too. Hawking had so much money. Did he have like an artificial, uh, you know,
if he
where he,
did, man, I'm sure he didn't want no little Vienna sausage.
oh yeah, it's true, Liberty. The fella is dead. So are we talking about alive or dead?
Hey, I'm not
um,
gonna let him bone me either way.
uh, and this is all, you know. So okay, I tell you what, Scott. I I 1 million for every inch.
Mm,
1 million for every inch.
1 million for every inch.
Yeah.
So Cenie'd have to pay you like 2 million.
Teeny maybe 2 million. But yeah, yeah. But man.
Now there's things you gotta take into factor too, man. Is there lube involved? Is the pullout game gonna be on point?
See, he said, thanks for exaggerating.
Is the pullout game gonna be on point because he's not gonna be able to tap you on the shoulder and be like, "I'm coming." He's, you know,
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, you got to think about the children, Scott. You got to think about your children and the children of all your people to come while you're dealing with Hawking's come. You know, you just gotta do it for the children.
that,
Imagine if Hawking's had like, I don't know, a foot. That's $12 million, man.
but you're gonna be bending over and you're gonna be like, "If I'd have known how to save a life." If you're doing it for the children, you
For
gotta
the
like
children,
sing that
yeah.
song while you're doing it. Or you could
For
be
the
like, "I
children.
did it all for the nookie."
Yeah, that would be, I think that's a good price. That's a good price. That's a good
Yeah.
price.
I would just be like, if I'm in that situation, right? Stephen Hawking's probably isn't breathing after that. Because I'm gonna be like, wait a minute. This is a dirty son of a bitch. And if I'm not doing it, he's gonna make those kids do it. That's gonna be the end of him.
No, that's
He
true.
gonna be
That is
gone.
true. That is true. I thought you were talking
Yo,
about
unheard with the raid. What's up, man?
reflecting what went wrong with this podcast.
I don't even remember how we got started on it.
I don't either.
But I
I
tell you
don't
what,
either.
man, you can just sit there and talk for days about Stephen Hawking.
Well, okay, let's preface this by saying, Scott, like I was I'm saying I'm taking the place of some young kid and he never did, never did
Taking the
anything with a
place
young
of
kid.
cream of some young guy.
Yeah. So,
Unheard. Appreciate the
yeah,
host, fella. Much love to you. How the
I
stream
don't know.
go?
The more you think
How
about
you
it,
doing?
oh God, yeah.
Yeah, man. You just picture trying to look him in the eyes.
Mm, mm. Oh, by the way, Scott,
Huh.
it's doing that mutant thing real quick on
Mutant.
some. Yeah, mutant. All right,
Let me go through
let's
them.
get away. We've talked about Epstein's Island a lot, and there'll be more. There'll definitely be more. All right, I looked at some of the stuff that you got there, Scott, and uh, man, people are hosting out like crazy right now. I saw the thing you put about Lil Nas X
Yep.
on there. I don't completely understand that one
Yep.
because if you've seen Lil Nas X videos, he does some crazy he does some crazy stuff.
Yeah, from what I gathered, man, he's like he dedicated time and he's found God and he's trying to change his life around completely. So,
Okay, I got a question. When he says he found God
yep.
from his videos and he announced that he was uh gay,
Yeah.
right? Whatever. He announced that, and in some of the
I
videos, he's
wouldn't
like
be able to control the laughter.
basically messing
No
around with
way.
dudes in a shower.
Yeah.
He's having sex with the devil
Yeah,
in
yeah.
one of them. So when he says, um,
I think it's a recent thing. I don't know what happened to him to like make him decide, "Hey, this is what I need to do."
okay,
Uh
is he saying that? Okay, I'm trying to figure out, is he saying that he is now uh is he saying he's straight now? Is he going that far, or is he just saying he's connected with a God and he's gonna make
Yeah, I think
religious
it's
music
more of.
now?
I think it's more of like he didn't even mention the music part. Like I don't even know if he'll. I don't know if he's gonna sing or
He
what.
It says he's releasing a second album.
We'll wait and see what the details of that album are as to how far into it he went. But he did. He says that I don't know what happened that made him decide that hey, I need to turn to God. But he that's what he's basing it on. He's like he's gonna expose pretty much everything about the satanic shit in music, which I have heard a lot. And of course, if you look at it, it's typically conspiracy theorists that are talking about Hollywood and the music industry being like satanic cults and shit like that.
Yeah. Um, you know the comedian Cat Williams, right?
Yeah,
He just did an interview with Shannon Sharp talking about some of this stuff too. And supposedly Dave Chappelle has said some of the same
yeah,
stuff.
I've heard Dave Chappelle mentioning it. I swear, I think Dave Chappelle when he was mentioning shit like that, then like he had mentioned the Illuminati in with it.
Well, and you got to remember, Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams are first and foremost
Comedians,
comedians,
yeah.
right? So you don't you it's not um Liberty said too, is he going to have uh you know be impregnated by God instead of the devil now? But they're primarily comedians.
Yeah,
So sometimes you don't know when to take them serious.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Um,
like us, man. Like if we say something to each other, like I had that little story that I never thought would have been convincing about you, and fucking people at first they questioned a little bit, and then I kept going on with it, and then they started believing it. So and it was all in fun, and
right.
like,
So,
they.
so is he trolling, or does he really have information on Hollywood that he's supposed to expose?
It'll be interesting because
Yeah.
I think he's actually afraid too, like with him coming out and saying this shit that somebody might come after him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Vice. He came up with a story that I left Liberty because I was not gaming with them for a little while. I was playing another game. So he came out with a story that I left Liberty for a male nurse, and me and this male nurse ran off together. And a couple people believed it. So yeah, let's just all agree that
it's
Scott's an asshole.
it's easy. That's how easy it is though for like people to say shit, and you're gonna get if you can literally come out and make up anything you wanted to, and you're gonna get at least one person that'll believe you.
Oh, now way more than that,
Yeah, yeah.
Scott.
Well, it spreads. One person catches on, they're like, "Damn, that makes sense," and then they tell somebody else, and then it just spreads, man, like a wildfire.
Yeah. Like, okay. I wonder how many. Yeah, yeah, Vice. Yeah, awesome. Hey, Dale.
No,
Um, yeah, freaking. Well, okay. Take that Miami story, Scott,
yeah,
with
yeah,
the mall.
yeah,
I don't know what happened, there for sure, but some dude said there was an alien at the mall,
yeah.
and now there's probably what millions of people that actually believe there was an alien
Hey,
at the mall.
maybe it was.
I mean,
Yeah, I doubt
maybe.
it because they got some kids that were letting off fireworks and all that shit. I highly doubt it, but I wasn't there, so that's the way I look at this shit on a lot of the stuff. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I don't know what happened. Like I can't disprove it if I'm not there. Uh, but you're gonna have, even if he comes out and he tells like just straight up truth, we're not gonna know. Like it might sound so outlandishly freaking crazy, and it might be true, and we might be like, ah, he's full of shit. But then
Um,
again, he might be full of shit.
well, basically, from what I saw so far, Scott, yeah, I don't know what Lil Nas X is gonna. It's supposed to be this Friday, right?
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay,
think it was this Friday.
I think it's about the time his album's dropping. So, is it like a promotional thing,
Is he gonna have it in
or
his album? Like, is that what his album's gonna be
uh,
about, or some shit like that?
I'm not sure, but Cat Williams. I watched parts of the interview. One part, he basically said Kevin Hart is a industry plant. A Hollywood, a
Yeah, yeah,
Hollywood guy that's involved with everything. Another thing he said was him and Ludacris were at a event and they were picking one of them to be in the Illuminati.
yeah,
And I guess, and then he said, "We're going to give you this many movies with this kind of contract." And they said basically that Cat was like, "No, no," no," and Ludacris went. Then Ludacris came back at him with a rap.
yeah.
So yeah, Cat, I don't know, man. That dude has done. There's been some crazy stories about Cat Williams.
So here it
So
says with him, it
you talking about Cat or Lil Nas
Lil
X?
Nas X. It says he has
Okay.
also previously spoken on entering his Christian era. Furthermore, he recently posted a TikTok about finding God after the industry tried to make me satanic. Um, so it says that that's basically like it says this may foreshadow his goal of exposing the industry next week. So evidently, hold on, I don't know this article was 1 day ago. So it must be next week he's doing this.
And next week?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like we said, all of a sudden all these things are coming out. Um,
It also says, man, that later Lil Nas X would refer to himself as God's favorite.
mm, I don't know about that one.
Uh, there's a bunch of let's see. The primary critic of Lil Nas' announcement has been Tyrese. The singer had taken the
Tyrese.
singer had taken issues with Lil Nas' comments telling the young rapper to stop playing with God and accused Lil Nas of making a mockery of Jesus.
Oh, isn't Tyrese is pretty religious if I remember right.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
So he's thinking it's just like a BS thing.
yeah. And see, the thing is, like, look at Lil Nas, and you tell me if honestly, if he walked up to anybody, and he was just a regular person, right? Nobody knew who the hell he was, but he looked just like he does with the tattoos all over him and all that shit. Who's gonna believe him? If he were telling the truth about shit like that, who would believe him?
Well, for me, I don't. Yeah, I see what you're saying. For me, I don't care so much about how he looked, but the videos he's been putting out.
Yeah. Well,
You
see, I use
know,
like the tattoos because I got them all over me. And there's certain people you walk up to that are like, I guess they're freaked out by tattoos. Like they
uh,
automatically think that you're a bad person just because you have them on you. And then you talk to them and they're like, you're a really nice guy. And that lets me know right there, they thought I was a piece of shit because I'm tatted up.
yeah, in some of the hospitals I worked for, and then they eventually dropped it. Well, some of them still have the policy. You had to cover up any tattoo you had.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, the
Well, and
patients
when I was
couldn't
in
see them.
Florida, I was gonna be a bag boy, right? At one point for the guy, what the hell is that store called? It's a big grocery chain there, and I can't even think of it now. Of course, that's been a while ago. And one of their policies was you had to have all your tattoos covered.
Really?
Being a bagger at a grocery store, it's not like I'm
Eh,
some big time, uh,
it's not surprising, but people's perceptions change over time.
yeah.
I think back in the day,
Hell, you
people
couldn't
only
even go
had
into a
tattoos.
church back in the day. Some churches with
Yeah,
tattoos, so
yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. One of the best people I ever knew, and I had people that came up and told me decades after he died. My grandpa, he had a nice big fat tattoo right on his freaking forearm. So yeah, so screw all that.
yeah,
But I think people's perceptions change over time, and tattoos are becoming just kind of a normal thing now.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I think I'm in the minority, which is going to change here in a few days. But I think I'm probably in the minority now because I don't have a tattoo. Um, I think most people have tattoos now.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Um,
like hell, uh freaking Glacier. He got his tattoo, man. I would have never thought in a million years that boy would have got a tattoo. And humanity,
well,
she's gotten a couple of them
humanity
now.
loves tattoos.
And I would have never thought in a million years that would have happened. But
Yeah, I might
it's
I might consider that, Sadie. After I get a couple slightly more meaningful tattoos, I might get another one.
you gotta put it right above your butt cheeks.
Oh my god. Um yeah, what was I gonna say? I don't even know where I was gonna say after that. Yeah, it's well, Glacier probably did it so that people could see him because
Yeah, yeah.
he's almost translucent sometimes. So with a tattoo, they can see him. That boy's albino. He's got to have part albino in him.
Tell you what, if he ever went to the rave, people were grabbing him, throwing him around as a glow stick. So,
um,
you seen the one about the Florida Joker, right?
is he another? That's the only one I didn't look at, Scott, because I think I'd seen it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Is he just like one of those other people that an image in the game looks a lot like him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's saying that it's like way more than the Lindsay Lohan thing. Like he's saying that it's identical. And then he's saying if they don't pay him, I from what I read in here, he said in a video that it was $10 million. Yeah,
Hmm.
$10 million. Um, he's if they don't pay him this money, he's going to, from what I gather, go break the dude out of jail, the hacker, and then he's going to work with that hacker to take GTA down. Now,
Okay.
didn't you commit a crime by saying that you're going to break somebody out of jail? Is that not a crime to come out and publicly say I'm going to break him out of jail? Plus, he's kind of threatening them to start with. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, the steps to take would just be go to a lawyer. Don't put it out there. I think dude's just trying to get popularity out of it and hoping that maybe might get paid some money too. But from the looks of the guy, if he does get paid any money, he might make it a month and then he's ODing on something.
So he's saying like tattoos, everything is
He hold on. Can I play the audio? That shouldn't.
GTA, GTA, we gotta talk. This is a reminder to the final. Warning: I keep getting harassed wherever I go. The more I can't even eat a goddamn pizza. While somebody asking, "Can I have a picture, Mr. GTA Joker?" No, you can't have a picture. I'm eating. Anyways, for a whole month, I've been giving you a free publicity. Free publicity. I want my money. My birthday's January 11th. If you do not contact me 3 days after my birthday, I want $10 million. $10 million for my suffering pain. Definition of character. Stop playing with me. When did GTA ever make the news? Never. And you're not gonna lock me up, GTA. You ain't gonna put me in no psych ward. Keep playing with me. Keep playing with me. I'm gonna break that kid out the psych ward right now. Show you the real joke. I'll break that kid out the psych ward now. Give him a laptop and we're gonna hack your system again. Keep playing.
So when you can finally actually understand what the dude's saying, then yeah, I mean he's gonna break the dude out of the psych ward and hack their shit up.
Okay.
I could say one thing real quick. Only in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing, man. They're gonna have okay. How many characters would you say have been in every GTA game?
Wait a minute. I have had we played there's been a couple games that we played that y'all have told me that somebody looked just like me in the game. Does that
Yeah,
mean I
so
should get money?
yeah, you should. You should.
I
You
should
should
make a
definitely.
video say, hey, you little love, you do this, you give me 10 million, we gonna hack you. Like, maybe I should do that. I don't know. But I'm looking at this uneducated dude trying to get rich quick.
Oh yeah, just because I'm sure he's. I've seen. I saw what he looks like. He's got tats all over him. I'm sure there's somebody in the game that looks pretty close to him.
There's probably somebody in this world that looks pretty close to him. Is he
Oh
gonna
yeah,
go sue their parents for freaking copying his image? Like,
yeah. I know.
I don't get it, man. Like I honestly don't get it because with all the game characters that are out there, you're gonna look like somebody on a game eventually, unless you're Stephen Hawking. Yo, Adam, how's it going, man?
There's
Going pretty
probably been a
good. Going
guy in a
pretty
game
good.
that kind of looked like him too.
Yeah, there probably has.
Um, yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
All
sweet
right,
bird.
that right there, man. Um, I I don't know what you do about that. You can't go around and sue video game companies because somebody looks like you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Now,
it's
if they use the name or even his little whatever he calls himself, the Florida Joker, if they had him being the Florida Joker in GTA, maybe, but I I don't know, man. That's what I'm talking about. People want to sue over everything.
hey Adam, what's up? Now, did you see? I don't know if you had time to look at some of the ones I sent. Uh, yeah, we're definitely not talking about that one.
Oh yeah, I pretty much got home and came. I got right on.
See, okay, there. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. There's a high school. Um, yeah, we talked about that, Adam. About the lady suing Reese's Scott because the packaging showed
Yep,
something
yep,
a little,
yep,
just a little bit different.
yep. We talked about that. It's been a that's been what two podcasts ago or something.
Yeah, $4 billion over there weren't faces on the cups, man.
Yeah.
Jesus. I
I
swear.
mean, why didn't I think of that?
I mean, what like I don't even understand, man. Is that caused her $4 billion worth of emotional damage?
Well, now that I think
Emotional
about it, though,
damage.
man, I think it scarred me for fucking life.
Did it?
Now that I think about it, man, that's the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It hurts.
Like,
It hurts real bad.
what is wrong with people? I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, man. Uh, like, if okay, imagine this, Scott. Imagine she wins, right? And then somebody's got a package of like M&Ms or something, and they're like, "There's not quite the same number of this color in
They don't
there."
have arms and legs, man, and the mouth.
Yeah, you advertise them as being walking around and
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. I tried to
You know,
talk to it, and they didn't say shit.
well, imagine this. Um, yeah, yeah, Adam, that's true. I mean, imagine this too. This would actually be a good thing for us. You know how you go and well, first of all, they'll show commercials on television where the freaking Big Macs look amazing,
Yeah, yeah.
or all these things look so
And
great,
you
and
know
then on their
why? Have
menu
you seen
they
how they do it? They make like they literally will assemble this thing to look perfect, and they stick toothpicks in the inside of it to where you can't see the toothpick, so it holds it all together.
oh yeah, so what if my Big Mac doesn't look perfect?
Yeah.
Or,
Where's
can
my
I
fucking
sue?
toothpicks?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's just like the people. Oh my god. And this is why we got where they can't a lot of places can't serve hot coffee anymore. Because they got to put first of all they had to put on there
It was
very
hot.
hot,
Yeah.
caution, all this stuff, and then still people did stuff, and now the coffee can't be very hot. People are oh man, I don't get it. People are
That mean if I get a
definitely
brain freeze since ice cream and shit don't say extremely cold, I get a brain
yeah, no,
freeze.
you could probably sue over that.
I'll tell
I
you.
think the things that have got me the most, Scott, is when criminals break into somebody's house or a business and then sue
Dude, if I
the
can find it,
homeowners.
there's a story. I didn't have time to read it earlier. um, from what I read, a dude broke into a dude's house, right? The guy that owned the house shot him. Didn't kill him. He just shot him. The guy that owned the house is sitting in jail right now with the criminal that broke in.
Nice.
I mean, how's that? What the hell kind of shit is that? Dope boy.
That that's
What the
beautiful.
hell?
What the
Dope boy
hell?
hit me with the raid. What's up, fella? How's it going? How's it going?
Let's go, dope boy.
Appreciate you, fella. Much love to you. Yeah, that's the world that we've that's what we've come to, man, as a society. Like, what are you supposed to do? Call a social worker? Hey, can you get him
Oh,
out of my house?
I don't know what you're supposed to
They'll
do.
be calling you here soon. You get done with
And
your degree, man, they gonna be calling you.
and
Hey,
you.
we got this armed robber. They're only calling me if they're addicted to the stuff.
They probably are.
Yeah, they probably really are. That's the thing. If you look at crimes too, and what people are in there for, there's so many repeat offenders. Like they just do the same shit over and over.
Okay, the one I didn't read was the one about the devices that I guess they saying that there's devices that read your mind.
Yeah, man. Shit. Let me click on it
The
here
devil.
so I can refresh myself on it. So, uh,
Hey, Queen.
basically, these are like they'll literally read your mind. Um, they did interviews with the neuroscientists who are working on it, and It says in one particular telling exchange, a pair of researchers from the University of Texas at Austin who've successfully created BCI, which is brain computer interfaces, um, that can rudimentarily, I ain't saying that word, you know what I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
translate brain waves into text, described how it felt to realize their device was actually reading their thoughts. The one guy said, quote, holy shit. Uh, this was UT neuroscientist Alexander Huth, who had been working on BCIs for almost a decade when he achieved a breakthrough in 2020, recalled exclaiming, this is actually working. Another one was like, oh my god, we can look inside the brain, or look inside my brain. Uh, like, I don't know, man. To me, if you look at this, we already have like our privacy violated
Mhm.
big time.
Mhm.
Now,
Oh,
some
by the
of
way, Google's getting hit by a lawsuit now,
yeah, I seen that.
and I never got my Facebook
I
money.
never got mine either, man.
I
Uh,
mean, it might be $3.73, but I want
yeah,
that
but
three
they owe it
dollars
to me, man.
for them selling my information to
Yep, it's good
everybody.
to know I'm worth a couple bucks, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Why
But
wouldn't they? How much money did they make
oh,
off
dude,
selling our information? And
yeah,
then we're gonna get like a couple bucks.
yeah. It's. I mean, that's our value, man. That's our value. Yo, Dope Boy, I appreciate you, man. Much love for the host. 13-hour stream, man. We ain't did that in ages. That sounds terrible now after doing like 4 hours. But at some
We
point in the
are
near
gonna have
future, we're
to.
gonna do a 12-hour with like incentives there for subs that'll add
Yeah.
on to it. But yeah, man, it's
How does that make any sense, man?
some of the shit we need in the right places. Like we have to have some sort of shit like watching over shit that happens. All right, I'll give
Mhm.
them credit on that. Now, if I pick up the phone and I call you and I'm like, "Did you hear about Stephen Hawking's?" And yeah, I always add an S at the end of his name, so I'm not really calling him out. I'm making up a completely different character by adding
Right.
the S.
Yeah.
So at that point, you know, just the mention of that name, if that's what they're looking out for throughout the entire United States, you mention one word that they're looking for, it's a watchword, and they're recording your shit so that they can pull it up against you anytime that you get. We all got a fucking file, man. We got a fucking file. Mine's probably like to the moon and back from the shit that I've said on a damn phone. But some of the shit's necessary, but when it comes into breaking into your everyday privacy, like where are they going to use these things at?
Oh, and we've talked about it before, man. Like, me and Liberty will be having a conversation about something random. We don't even have our phones in our hand.
Yep.
Our phones are somewhere else, and
Oh, they
all
could
of a
be
sudden,
anywhere in the house.
yeah, yeah. Then all of a sudden, with they're off or just the whatever it's called, sleep mode or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden we get ads on multiple different places,
Yep. Yep.
like on Amazon,
Oh,
like on
you'll
YouTube.
get them on TikTok, you'll get them on Twitter, you get them everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, Facebook is. I guess weren't we supposed to get that couple dollars already?
Yeah, from what I gathered out of it. It was supposed to have been like last year, towards the ending of last year, but you see how that worked. That mean we can sue them for not getting our money?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I guess we could do. I guess we could do that. I guess you could take the battery out of your phone.
That doesn't work either. I've seen a thing on that too. even taking the battery out of your phone, they can still access your camera and your mic on it. I don't know if the phone
Really?
itself stores like enough for them to be able to do that, but I seen a thing on that too, man. They're like the only way that you can prevent that from happening is not to have like you can't have an Alexa or whatever else Siri, anything like that that can hear you. If you have your game system on, they can access your freaking mic and shit like that too.
Oh,
It's when you look into it, the shit that they can do is quite amazing. Like how do they get to that point in technology?
yeah, Vice. We were talking about. Did you see that the settlement Facebook had where okay, Sean, um, where we're supposed to get money back for them stealing our privacy?
Yeah,
Um,
it went back like 11
oh,
years.
that's what I got, man. I got an iPhone also. But I've had my it it was when did they say from
It
2000?
went back 11 years, I think.
Yeah, 11 years it went back. C Muffin.
And then the
Um,
more, like, the longer you had an account during that period of time, depended on like how much you got. And then they had to filter out because there was like a bunch of fake accounts, and then you had like people who had already passed away and shit like that.
yeah, they're supposedly the money is supposed to come to us. You were supposed to sign up for it, but it hasn't yet. And then people are saying for them stealing all your information and giving it out to all these companies, we're probably going to get a couple bucks. But
Yeah,
I heard there was a new suit against Google. Yeah, yeah. I've got nothing for it either. Nothing, and it's probably not going to be much if it ever comes. But I heard Google was getting sued for the same thing.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably what it's going to be. See, Muffin, just a couple bucks, which I thought we were supposed to get it already,
Hey, at least we would know that
but
we're actually worth a couple bucks.
oh
Right
yeah,
now I
yeah,
look at it as they think I'm not worth shit, you know?
yeah.
Don't give that
Uh,
dude his money. Don't give him his two
well,
dollars.
an interesting story. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want them to see. I want them to see him then pay out too.
Mm-hmm.
To give them some kind of a penalty for what they did. But I went uh when I was a trauma ER nurse. I had to work with patients in mental um facility, so I had to get fingerprinted, and I had to go through this whole FBI check and everything.
Yep.
So I went to the hospital and I got fingerprinted and I did all that, and then I got a notice 2 months later that Chinese hackers
Yeah,
have
yeah,
all
yeah,
my
yeah.
information.
Yep, yep.
So Chinese hackers
You
got
know,
in, and now they have my social security number, my
I
fingerprint,
got a
everything.
notification saying that they had got into my shit too. What do we ever get out of that?
I don't think we get anything. I
Like
don't think we
I
get
don't remember
anything.
getting anything for that, man. Uh
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't see how yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna end up costing them a pretty penny, but how much money did they make
oh,
by selling our information?
yeah. And how do you put a
Like,
price on like how do you put a price on our heads?
I know. It should be way more.
Yeah, yeah.
So that no company ever does it again.
Yeah.
But then, you know what's terrible? You go into a website or something and they have that like 100-page thing you're supposed to read and then accept it.
Yep.
On everything you go, who's going to sit there and read 100 pages
The only
of
one that I
something?
actually took the time to read, honestly, is one on Kick. Whenever I was signing up for Kick, I wanted to read everything that they had on there so I would know what I could and couldn't do and all that shit.
What did South Park say? Yeah, some of them aren't too bad. Some of them are only a couple pages. It's still,
Yeah,
it's you don't want to sit there and read thousands and thousands of words. Uh, you know,
they could have a
but
video that just somebody reading it off.
yeah, that would be. Of course, it
Like,
might take an hour.
like, we're going to sell your information.
You got to watch the Human Centipede. All right, I've seen clips of that one, but I have not watched the whole episode. Uh, oh no. See, Muffin says no. Don't do it. Sean's like, no. It's nasty. Y'all are tearing me right now. Part of me wants to go watch it.
But yeah, how crazy is that gonna be? What are they gonna use that in? Like, I could see our military using this if they capture somebody and they can read their minds. But you know they're gonna use that shit against us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And what if like you know how if you get interrogated long enough, you could be completely freaking innocent. You get interrogated long enough, you're probably going to start thinking some crazy shit. Like even if they're questioning you and you're trying to visualize what they're questioning, then hell, that might be incriminating to you just because you had that thought flow through your mind.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, dope boy. Appreciate you, man.
If
Go get
they
some rest. That is a long stream. And yeah, appreciate you for hosting Granny too, man.
much love to you, Doughboy. I will get you back one of these days. Um,
Oh, Sea Muffin, Dope Boy has some interesting emotes. That's for sure.
now, if they use this in the correct way, then police officers wouldn't even have to question anybody. They could
Right.
take them into the interrogation room, let them sit there, and let them think, and they're already telling on themselves. But it's
Yeah.
scary. When you get to that point in technology, it gets pretty scary, man, because you don't even have privacy of your mind then.
No. And that's a thing. Like, okay, we're all about, our freedoms and everything like that. Um, if you wouldn't have any freedom then.
No.
Like everything would be out there.
Now, could you
Ang-
imagine if they
Anglo, appreciate the follow.
made a VR headset, right? To where it read your thoughts and it put you in that world. Whatever the hell you were thinking, it put you in there with it. Now, I think that would be
Okay,
kind of a cool experience.
now that sea muffin, all right, I'm trying to think how to tell her real quick, and then I'll get back on this. We um, we use what was it, Canva, and then took it to make emoji,
Yeah.
and we were able to put them on here. But there's probably better ways. Um,
And
there's
then
probably some more advanced ways than that to
then you
do it.
type
But
in background remover. I think
yeah,
it's the first
background
one that
remover.
shows up on the search thing. You can remove the background.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So maybe one day.
Yo, Anglo Arms. Thanks for the follow.
Um, oh, and that takes me to that other thing we were talking about, Scott. that case in the UK right now where the girl was playing a video game
Yeah.
in VR and she felt violated in the virtual reality world. And then when she got out of the virtual reality world, she went to a lawyer and went after the boys in the game because she felt violated in the virtual reality world.
Yeah. Um, and it's people like that that ruin the games for everybody. Because when they do that stuff, that opens that door for everybody else. Everybody else. And when that happens, that gets to a scary point in gaming. Uh, because I joked around about it. I was like, every time I die in Call of Duty, I feel violated. So does that mean I can press charges on these people when I die in Call of Duty?
Say that one more time, Scott.
Oh, the whole thing?
You talking about teabagging in Call of Duty?
No, no, no. Like comparing it to like that opens the door to every video game. Like
Yeah.
and I said it before. When I die in Call of Duty, I feel violated. Does that mean I can go after the people who killed me in Call of Duty?
Um, Here's the thing. That's why I don't use game chat anymore, man.
Yeah,
We used to live in game chat. We used to, we met some really cool people back in the day in
yeah,
game
yeah,
chat. And then we met some people
yeah,
that you think probably had one brain cell
yeah.
that
And
would
then
just
and then you met
scream.
some people that started out normal and turned really weird really quick.
Yeah. I mean, remember those dudes that would scream top of their lungs one word over and over
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
over?
yeah,
You know, like I don't. That's why I don't do game chat anymore. Plus, policy on some of these games are now that you say something, even if the AI catches you saying something that could be even perceived as slightly bad, you
yeah,
could get banned.
yeah.
Um, I don't know what's going to cause emotional damage to people anymore. Uh,
Anything.
I mean, when we grew up, we had uncles that would come up to us and say some of the craziest shit you ever
Yeah,
heard.
yeah, yeah,
Call you every name in the book, and you just kind of rolled with it.
yeah.
Like I said, I had 80-year-old, 90-year-old women that were out of their mind say, "Oh my God, you want to hear some shit? You get a 80, 90-year-old woman that's in there for dementia or they're sundowning or something. Oh my God, the stuff that you will hear, the names that you will be called. Yeah, yeah. I'm yeah. The Halo games. Um,
Oh, pretty much any game that you played back. You could have probably played Barbie back in the day, and people were going to be calling you every name under the sun.
oh God, remember those Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, the Black Ops lobbies.
Yep, yep.
Just, I mean, and my wife played with us back, she played with us a lot, all the time back then. And, she would go into a lobby and it was just like, it was on. If a girl was in the lobby, it was on. And
Yep,
then
yep. No,
our
that still
friends,
happens too, from what I've understood. It's not as
yeah,
often, but it does still happen.
our friends were Australian. And oh my God, when they came into a lobby, we
How
had
many
a
times did somebody say they were British because,
oh yeah, they just immediately started in
yeah,
with the British stereotypes.
because people here don't like they can't distinguish like where somebody's from an accent. Like it's I don't know, man. But
Yeah, that's true, Ceenie. So, my mom, your mom, Ceenie's mom, man, they got around, Scott. Everybody was sleeping with them. Everybody had our
yeah,
mom.
yeah, yeah,
The craziest part was when Liberty would be in a lobby and they would first attack her for being a young boy. And then the next thing you know, they were saying sexual stuff to her
Yeah, yeah.
and sending crazy pictures, and then our young nephew at the time, Glacier, would
Yeah.
come in there, and oh my god, the little boy, it's like people saw a young person and they wanted to attack him even harder.
Yeah, and
Uh,
there was really no excuse for it unless he was singing Lady Gaga.
yeah, the Lady Gaga was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I, I'll never forget Humanity getting a video of him in the shower
Yeah, yeah.
singing all of his songs. I wish I had that right now.
She still got it.
Yeah, Liberty, they loved you for you. They love Cenie too.
They loved her for her, not because she sounded like Leonardo.
That was back in the that was the Wild West days of gaming though, man. It
Yeah,
was
that was
I
pretty much
mean,
anything goes.
oh, it was. It
Like,
was it was anything
so
goes.
one thing that's definitely improved throughout the years is like if you do go in game chat, you're 100% less likely now to hear like racist terms being thrown out. It doesn't, because back in the
Yeah.
day, every lobby you went
Oh,
in, and it
every
was
lobby.
like just about the whole game. Like
I
if
mean, there's
they,
TikToks, there's TikTok memes about it
yeah,
where black guys will enter a game and before they even say anything, somebody will say something.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
can hear you breathing and then say that's the way it was back in
Well,
the
and
day.
you take with us, what was everybody's favorite thing?
Oh, us
Yeah,
were we were dumb Southern screwing our freaking cousins and our
yeah,
sisters.
yeah,
That was the thing that got us with every time,
yeah.
every time.
And then you try to educate them on some shit, and they'd leave.
Yeah, yeah. You try to get into a little educated talk with them, and they're gone.
Yeah, they go.
But that was what it was. And then we'd have people that would just be screaming, "Screwing your sister! Screwing your
Yeah, yeah,
sister!"
yeah. Oh,
Cousin,
you
cousin
remember that,
fucker.
man? You couldn't even get a word in
Oh, you
at
couldn't get a
all because
word
they were just
in.
screaming whenever they knew that they had done lost the shit. They were just
Oh,
ah.
I remember that one. There was. Oh,
Oh,
he
he
was
was
the
the
worst. He did it for 2 or 3 search games after we broke
Yeah,
him
yeah.
down. It was some. It was some. I can't remember where he was from. I think he was from Texas, and all he did was scream for like 2 straight matches.
Yeah.
I can't. It was so annoying.
Then there was our buddy
Um,
that just kept saying, "Hey, fuck you,
hey,
Green Bean,"
you green bean.
for like fucking
That's
5 games straight.
I know. But yeah, hey, Mama Bliss. Um, it's yeah, it was crazy, man. Back then, and that brings me to another topic, Scott. Okay, there's this football player. I had seen the thing on TikTok, and Scott sent me a story about it. This guy's name is I'm not gonna say his name, but let's see if I can pull it up.
And this is his legit last name.
Yeah, he's going to college as a football player. He's pretty
And
he's
he's
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
His let me see here. What is his name? Yep. Noah, and then it's spelled with a K, but it's basically like the N word. And he's a white kid. So people don't know how to um well,
Yeah,
let
Adam.
me see.
Yes.
Let me see how I don't even know how to put it, Mama Bliss. Uh let me think here. It, he yeah, it is that. So they don't know how to
Pretty
when they
sexy
talk
queen
about him on
27.
sports
Thanks for the follow.
station. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, They don't know how to talk about
It,
him on sports stations. They don't know how to do like anything. I saw people on a podcast talking about it, and they were like, "We just got to make up a last name for him because." And I've never seen that last name in my
yeah,
life.
I haven't either.
Yeah, that is so crazy. Yeah, cartoons plural.
Mama
Yeah, they need
Bliss,
to.
what's up? What's up?
Yeah, they made up some
How
crazy
you
name for
doing?
him. But yeah, so
Oh,
basically, wherever he goes to school,
shit.
they are going to have to be extremely careful. Like, I don't think that they're going to ever be able to say this guy's last name. Um, what do you think, Scott?
Um,
Are they just
rap
going to be like Noah
rappers will
K?
rap about it,
Well, yeah, the rappers
but
will.
I mean, I, dude, what kind of life did he have to go through?
So that's a primarily Scottish last name. Are you serious, Liberty? She works with a guy named that in IT.
Shit.
That is crazy. Wow. But the last name, wow, that is like how are they ever gonna call a game like that? Uh
Hey, Mama Bliss, I forgot to get your
if you do it
kick
first.
logo thing for you. I'll get that. I just wrote a note there reminding me.
Yeah, that would be that's what they were basically doing on that podcast. They were like, "You go ahead and say it. You go ahead and say it." And everybody was
Yeah.
like, and then they just started making up a last name for the guy.
I mean, just call him by his first name. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think that's what I do. I just be like, Noah K.
Yeah. I
Great
wouldn't even
job,
put
Noah
the
K.
K at the end of it. There could be 15 Noahs on the other team, or on that team, and I'd be like, Noah, number 12, or something.
Yeah, I need to watch that skit on stream sometime, Liberty. The Key and Pale skit where they do the East West football bowls. I love that skit.
You remember,
Uh
you remember when they,
Cartoons plural from Virginia Tech.
you remember when they had the old Madden games? They'd be like, number 12 catches the pass. They would
Yeah,
just
yeah,
say
yeah. They
the
could just
number
they
of the
could just go
player.
by his number.
And then they started implementing names, and for whatever reason, my name wasn't in the thing. My last name, you would think, would be in there.
Well,
It's a
as
common
many
last name.
as many I would say it's growing in popularity because some of our cousins are mass producing.
Yeah.
Um, um, yeah, that's crazy, man. Now I know you didn't have time to look at some of mine, Scott. But let me look at them
And
real
it
quick
may
again.
it may be some stuff that I read a little bit about at some point.
Well, I just went up and told Liberty. I was like, "Well, you got me. I'm gonna have to stop drinking. I'm at well, pretty much what they said was that they're finding a lot more plastics, little nanoparticles,
Yeah.
in everything that we eat and
Yeah.
drink that has, that is contained within plastic. Um, and they have just found even more in water. Um, yeah, Liberty, you did. Liberty's name wasn't the greatest either that she grew up with.
Should marry
Uh,
you for the pokey last name.
um, but yeah, so I'm probably going to have to, even though there's been warnings about tap water, where the hell are we going to get our water, man?
I
Like,
got
if
a
you can't,
well
yeah, yeah, that's true. Uh, you
and a
know,
softener and all
and
that
we got
stuff.
we got all kinds of filters on our stuff, but man, ever since I grew up with iron
Tangy.
water and everything, I've tried to stay away from tap water, but yeah.
Hey, when it comes right down to it, people live for many, many moons on tap water compared to, I mean, it's processed. It's pretty much all it is. It's processed freaking water. Yeah, a lot of times you're drinking processed sewage because, like, at the plant here, when I worked at it, all of our sewer water went back into the river, and then they in turn got the freaking water that they would pull into the water plant to process. They got it from the river. So you're just recycling shit, literally the whole damn time.
Yeah.
So at some point in time, you've probably drank your own turd and didn't even realize it.
Well, you know what though? A lot a lot of those bottled waters that are also
Comes
bottled
straight
in
from the
plastic,
tap.
yeah, they come just straight from a tap from
Yeah.
somewhere else.
They do have they implemented a law now where they all were saying spring water. And now they have to put on there somewhere on the bottle it's tap water. Because they get
Yeah,
in big trouble if they don't now.
but I guess because you go out and try to buy the water that's in glass containers,
Yeah.
and it's that much. It's it's a considerable price difference.
Yeah.
A lot of times. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to start drinking tap water again. And the sad thing is, hopefully the tap water tastes pretty good because I just got to get it. I got to get that mental block
So
out of my
wait,
mind from growing up with that iron water.
y'all are on the city's water, right? Where you
Yeah,
live?
yeah,
Yeah, so you'll be drinking the recycled poop water.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I already am.
It kills all the they gotta pass, safety
You
regulations.
know, that's a good question, man. How much of our water, how many times has it been like, okay, if it comes from a river or a spring or anything,
Yep.
animals have poop near it,
Yep.
fish poop in it,
Yep.
everything pooping in it. So, realistically, no matter what, you're drinking some poop water.
I think I got drunk one time and pooped in the creek.
um, I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know exactly why you decided to poop in the creek.
Hey, well, you gotta go. You gotta go.
I mean, we've all been out in the woods, doing stuff, and I remember that one time I found a little spot when I was out hunting with my grandpa and them. Next thing you know, I had fire ants. That's the quickest I ever jumped up from
So you don't have to worry about fire ants in the creek.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Uh, so that's one thing that made me very sad. Um, is that now I'm probably, but here's the thing, man. Um, everything that we get is wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
Everything we get is plastic. I mean,
And if it happens with the plastic, when we get to cans of stuff, there's probably little microscopic fucking shards of metal.
shavings of.
Yeah, yeah,
I read a thing where they were saying glass by far is the safest.
yeah.
But one of the problems around here, Scott, even if you wanted to pay more money for the glass, right? We don't have a recycling like a lot of
We used to,
bigger
and they took it away. I mean, it wasn't like you didn't get paid for taking the shit in, so the majority of people didn't take a shit in, because if you're not getting something back out of it, why the hell take your time to take it there, you know? Some people
Yeah.
just threw it in the trash, but
Well, like when we go to Oregon to visit Liberty's mom,
yeah,
and Cini was saying this too. They basically have three containers: one for your regular trash, one for everything that gets recycled,
yeah,
and then one for like your refuse, refuse.
yeah.
We don't have anything except throw all your trash out there,
Yep, yep.
and that's it. That's it.
And see, there's certain place. I think there's still certain places that actually buy the glass bottles back. Actually, I think they buy the plastic too. But they would have to implement something like that where you could get like money back for taking the shit in. That way they could just keep recycling the same fucking glass over and over. Um, I don't know, man, because you look at it, they know it's a proven problem. Like it can cause health risk and shit like that. So your whole job as a government is to find ways to like prolong life instead of shortening life. So what do? You gotta do something to combat that. Hold on one second.
Let me look up the next thing I had here. That's an interesting one too. Oh yeah.
All right, schools are 2 hours late.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get a little bit of snow tonight, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be like torrential downpours. We might get up to 3 inches of rain from what they're calling for.
Oh really?
Yeah, and from the radar, when I seen the radar there, then we're in like the dark yellow part, like almost orange. So we're gonna get a shit ton of rain.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how our
We're in a
internet
flood
connection.
watch and shit.
We'll see how our internet connection holds up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Isn't aren't the winds supposed to get strong tonight too?
Yeah, supposed to be like 20 to 30 sustained and gust up to 40 and 50. Now, I'll see how my power goes because they just took like the damn power thing through and cut all kinds of shit away from the power lines.
That's good.
So we'll see how that goes.
Um. I saw another thing, Scott, where this guy on TikTok uh, put it out. I don't know if you ever saw this guy. He's always like, "What's up, America?" And he tells what's go. He basically put out that this multimillionaire, I think he said, in Las Vegas is buying. He just bought a ton of private housing
Mm,
there, and they were talking about how um, corporations, we've talked about it before, are buying up all around America. There's already a housing crisis there,
yeah,
and now it's going to be even harder to find a house. And I think they predicted by 2030 some that 40% of all houses in America are going to be owned by private corporations.
yeah.
So,
I know one house that I don't plan on letting them
yeah.
get.
But isn't that crazy?
Now, you got to keep in mind too that if uh, if the government wants your property, they can seize it at any time. If they feel that it's necessary for something, if you're in like the way of something that they want to do, they can seize your property. I don't know if Trump got it done or not, but at one point they could seize your property without even paying you, or they didn't have to pay you anywhere remotely close to the value or something. He was trying to make it to where they had to give you the value of the property, like the full value of it. But even then, say you're
Hey,
living in a
so
place.
so is there any reason, like, if they, so one day if they decided we're going to put a power line up where you guys live,
Yeah,
they could just take it.
if the government wanted one, like if the government, it's anything government related. It has to be like it has to have some kind of governmental purpose. So I
Mm.
guess if they were like, we're gonna build a bunker here, then they could just tell me you need to get the fuck out. And before I think they had to give you like a little bit of money, but it wasn't much at all. Now they got to give you, I think he got it passed, they got to give you the full amount. But even then, you're living in a place, they tell you got to get the fuck out. You're not expecting that shit. Yeah, they're giving you this money, but how much of that money are you going to have to pay out in rent while you're waiting on trying to get another place?
Well, that, and
And if you
if
owe on the house, are they going to pay it off and then give you the value? Or are you just going to get what's left out of the
right,
payoff?
and they're going to send their own people up there to estimate what your house is worth.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can almost bet it, it's going to be under.
Oh, it's
Uh,
going to be nowhere near what they got on my tax papers when I pay taxes.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so. And then, okay, so if you move out of a house now, you're more likely to pay more, especially if these private corporations keep buying up
Yeah.
what's out there.
Yeah, they're not
Uh,
going to they're not going to sell the shit. I guess their primary goal is to rent the shit. I don't know. That or just to
yeah,
everybody get the hell out.
basically, I mean, if they buy, so if that trend continues and they get over 50% of the market and then 60% of the market, what do you think that, okay, you know business people, what are they gonna, they're just gonna keep trying to raise rent,
Yeah.
raise rent, raise rent.
Yeah, they
And
just want
then,
money. That's all it is.
and then BlackRock buying up farmland and some of these other corporations buying up farmland. Um, you know,
And trying to buy a vast majority of freaking Hawaii there at one point.
yeah. Well, and I saw a thing. Now, like I said, we don't always have time to go through and check three or four different sources. Now, I have heard that from multiple sources about private companies buying up houses,
Yeah,
about companies buying up farmland in America, and stuff like that. Um, this is interesting. If this is true, now this is from RFK.
yeah,
Um, he's going to be running for president in what's going to be a chaotic year this year. He was saying that the Ukraine is, they have basically like some of the richest farmland in the world.
yeah,
Uh, some people call it like, God's farmland. They are selling out chunks of that farmland to countries and companies so that people are invested in keeping Ukraine under Ukraine control and not
yeah,
Russian
yeah,
control. And BlackRock has the contract, if he's correct, to rebuild Ukraine.
mm,
Because some of the companies that they have stake in, so it's very interesting. And our defense contractors, some of uh, basically they're saying, I saw another thing where basically they're saying we're giving Ukraine a loan, and then some of them are saying we're not really giving the money to Ukraine, we're giving the money to our defense contractors.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the money's not going directly to them. There's a portion of it that does. The majority of the money, what it is doing is we're actually buying new equipment for our military, and we're sending our old equipment over to Ukraine.
That's not surprising.
Um, Now there's still a nice chunk that makes it through in actual money, but yeah, when it comes to all of it though, we don't send it all. Like we're buying equipment and supposedly we're buying it and we're keeping the new shit. And we're sending them old shit. Um, I don't know. Like I guess that's the old shit's better than what they got. It's obviously working pretty good. Uh,
Yeah.
but then again,
And
how
and
often do we have to use our stuff?
and I don't know how long this I don't know how long this war is going to go on.
I don't
It
think it
could
has an end, man.
it could be a very long time.
I think
I
it's gonna be
don't.
like a North and South Korea thing, like a Israel and freaking Hamas thing, man. It's never gonna end.
Yeah. So there are you know, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians have lost their lives.
Yeah,
Um, and in the end, it's just going to be, a lot of it's just profiting, BlackRock, profiting defense contractors, and the defense contractors want Ukraine to be in NATO because every NATO country they have contracts with.
well, and see, that's where a lot of people like the whole concept of the Illuminati and shit like that. Like, if you look at it, and the wars are senseless. That's the dumbest thing that we as people can do is have war. Because you would think we would evolve at a certain point where we would be like, hell, we can damn near live forever. Like, we should never die from like a disease or any type of sickness or anything like that. Because with as advanced as our weapons are, our fucking medical shit would be a hell of a lot more advanced if we didn't have to worry about creating weapons to kill people.
Picture this, Scott. Picture a world where the U.S. spent its military budget on medical research.
Yeah,
Could you imagine?
I mean, if it, in order for that to happen, it would have to be world peace.
Yeah.
And every daggone government around the world just throw down your guns, throw away your rockets, shit like that. And I don't know if I could imagine it because I'm so used to seeing what the hell I got now, but it's honestly the world that we should have.
I'm curious. All right.
Berg Mama said she just watched a clip.
Oh God, Berg Mama. I don't know which clip it was, but that could be scary. I'm sure it was one where we were talking about Stephen Hawking doing dirty things. All right, let me see here. National defense budget. I want to see what our 2023 was.
But think about that. We're only going to know what they want us to know out of it.
True.
Hickman.
All right. So it's saying, oh shoot, Hickman. That's what I forgot to pull up. Sean even told me. Sean even told me. Let me get him real quick and then we'll go over this.
Damn, Lobo didn't even come into mind and be like, hey.
Well, he probably thought I would tell you, but we were talking about something else.
We got to get old Vice streaming too.
Let's see. Oh, Hickman. I know, Berg Mama. We we actually got Liberty looked it up, and supposedly he did some weird, allegedly he did some weird stuff at his home also before that. But yeah, his parts were working. Let's just say that his parts were working. Ah,
With a helping hand.
okay. So last year we spent um and I'm sure they added on to this, but at least $816 billion,
Yeah.
right?
I I would
Yeah,
say I would go out on a limb and say that that's probably around a trillion
yeah. So
because
that's a trillion.
they're gonna have shit that like we don't know about that they're not gonna let us know about.
Uh, and yes, Berg Mama, I was curious. I thought that Stephen Hawking was pretty much completely paralyzed. Um, but from all reports,
He still have
uh,
one active muscle.
yeah. Uh, so and from reports, he was there. And if he wasn't there, then I'm sorry. But from different reports, he did stuff with young girls from that island.
Three
Uh,
orgies. Orgies
orgies.
now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
how?
yeah. All right, let me look up our medical research. U.S. medical.
Imagine Stephen Hawking down there trying to lick that thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ, God.
County Highs, welcome
Let's
back, man.
see.
After a
National
hard month.
Institutes of Health. The National Institutes of Health got 49 billion. Uh, and that's not just for uh, you know, research. It's for other things too, like paying people.
Yeah,
So that was our budget for medical research.
yeah,
49 billion compared to probably a trillion for defense.
yeah.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And
But
it really shows you the priority, though. Like, the priority of all the governments around the world. Um, if you look at the percentages that governments around the world put into, like, defense, we call it defense. I call it, like, we getting ready to whip people's asses. We got so much offensive shit that I don't even know if you could really call it defense. We
I
just,
I think we are one of the absolute worst by far,
yeah,
Scott.
yeah. But it lets you know like what countries are thinking more about war than peace. When you look at the amount, like the percentage of their funds that are going where,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. Like it's just stupid. And you take the amount we put on defense and everybody else's around the world that they would put on defense, and you look at how much money that would be. Like I couldn't even give you an estimate, but it's gonna be more numbers than I could even pronounce probably. Uh,
And I'm pretty sure, Scott, that we put more money into to defense than like all the other NATO countries
Yeah.
combined.
Well, there at
It's
one point
I don't
we
even
were
think it's
paying
close.
like way more to NATO than anybody else, and then Trump came out and he's like, "Look, we're not paying all this. We'll get the hell out if y'all don't pay your part." Some of them were in debt to NATO, like they owed them from previous years, and it's like we were the only ones spending anything. And I like the idea of if we're gonna come over and help you, that's fine. You're gonna pay us to come over and help you. We're not going to use our budget because our budget is a defense budget. That's for us to defend our country. If we're going to go do offensive shit and it's not our war, they need to pay us.
Yeah, and we're I don't even know how it can be called a defense budget
Yeah,
because we are in like we're in like 100. We have bases in like like hundreds. Like we're everywhere.
yeah.
We are everywhere. Um, so I don't even know how you call it defense at that point, other than the fact that
They should just call it military budget, but it sounds more appealing if you call it defense budget.
yeah, the Department of Defense.
Yeah,
You know, um, but yeah, we're everywhere. We're in everybody's business, and
and they in our business.
hell, man, we don't even. I mean, they keep talking about raising Social Security age, reducing, it's the Social Security amount that people get's not keeping up with inflation
Yeah,
and the cost of goods, and they're talking about raising the age. There was a senator that just put out that we should raise the age to what life expectancy age was. So people would basically die, are about to be dead, or probably died before.
you know,
Uh,
you got 18 years before they can like. Well, I mean, they can prosecute you as like an adult earlier on if you do a bad enough crime.
right.
But like, you got to be 21 now. We'll use this as an example. You got to be 21 now to buy alcohol and tobacco products, right?
Mhm.
So why the hell can't I retire like 20, 21 years before life expectancy's up? That way I can enjoy 21 years of my life.
Let's see. What is it now? Is it 67?
I think so, but it's getting ready to raise up again, I think.
Well, and didn't they just say that in the United States the life expectancy is either halted where other countries are going up or went backwards?
Yeah, I think ours is dropping a little bit from
Let me
what
see
it
what it
was.
says. Let me see what it says our life expectancy is
And
now.
see, here's the thing, man. I'm going to bring it up. I don't know if anybody else in the United States will, but all these years that I've worked, what were they doing? They were taking out for Social Security. Do away with Social Security, but give me my fucking money that I paid in. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I paid
mean,
in for because it was a promise that it was going to be there whenever I retired.
um, so the life expectancy is just a tiny bit over 77 years. So people getting 67,
Yeah,
if they make it to life expectancy, they got 10 years
yeah. And
of
they were
those
talking
Social
about
Security
raising it to
payments.
70.
Oh yeah, that one guy wants to raise it to 77. Um, so it's and that's one of the only things we've got.
Yeah,
That's one of the only. We don't have universal health care.
yeah,
We don't have we don't have like 2 years of free college or 4 years of free college like a lot of other places. They have a lot more leave and a lot more vacation time in a lot of industrial countries,
yeah,
but we put $1 trillion into our military every year.
yeah.
Every single year we throw $1 trillion at our military. um
Well,
so
and see, when I think how it goes too is like say a woman in another country gets pregnant, right? They
Mhm.
get a paid leave for some of them's a year now that they give them
It's
a
a
paid leave,
it's quite a while.
and that's the government giving them that money.
Right.
They don't make the corporations pay the money. The government's actually giving them that money, and they don't have to pay that money back because they realize the importance of like the mother being there for the child. Now the dads too are getting like a half a year or something.
Yeah, they went up on that in a lot of countries.
And I hate to say it, I would be popping out kids left and right. I mean, I wouldn't be, but I would be making kids left and right. And then that way I could be like, hey man, I can't work for like 15 years now.
You just getting you a big tab.
you gotta time it, man, to where every 9 months there could be another baby popping out. Well, actually, I guess it'd be every 6 months. You'd have to time it right.
Yeah, you just gotta time it right. Yeah, man, we have that's really all we got. We um, and I don't get the argument as to why you wouldn't want to have that for people. Um, because somebody brought up the point. They were like, if you don't want the government to help people like that, then what you should do is you should tell them you don't want your social security check when you get older.
Yeah,
You should tell the ambulance when they come to get you or when you call 911 that you're not going to take a free service. You're going to pay them
yeah.
when they get there. We don't have a lot. We don't have a lot for free in this country. Uh, so,
Well, and it is any of it really free? Because
well, yeah, it's. I
think
mean,
of it
it's
this
not.
way, man. Because like even your EMS services, right? It's factored in like your city taxes and stuff like that, so that they can cover the cost of it. So you pay for everything. Every
Yeah,
single thing that you do is paid for. Now, you know who doesn't get paid for it? The volunteer firefighters or the voluntary EMS and stuff. Like they don't
yeah.
see any of the tax money that goes for that, but yeah, we pay for it. But
Oh, not only. I mean, we pay for it. We got our taxes every year. Then we got our property taxes. We got taxes when we go to the grocery store. We got car taxes.
yeah,
We Just tax upon tax upon tax. And we are one of the countries that we pay that tax for everything, but we don't get a lot of stuff in return.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
and that's in our whole tax system.
we got a lot of pretty jets.
Yeah, but
We
I don't
got
get to ride in any of them.
we got like 13 more or 14 more super carriers than any other country. But that's not helping people get medicine when they don't have insurance
Well, and
or
our whole purpose for the tax system, if you look into it, is so that the government can provide the people with a better lifestyle. Like it's to literally so they can invest that money to make our lives easier and better. And, that requires first of all keeping us fucking alive. Like you can't just have a bunch of dead people in your shit. So if they're dying because they can't afford shit, something should click at some point and say, you know what? Let's stop spending a trillion on fucking defense and let's use 200 billion of that to take care of our people. I don't know, man. Like it's just more signs that the government really doesn't give a shit about you. We are one thing to the government, and that's money. If they can't make profit off of us, they don't need us.
yeah, that kind of goes back to that whole thing with the privacy, man. You know, me and you are probably going to get a buck or two. Actually, you're going to get slightly more than me because I took a little break from Facebook.
Yeah, I was
So
on. It depends on if they count like the 40 times I got banned.
that's true. You did get banned a lot. Um, I mean, you're gonna get like $1.98, and I'm gonna get $1.70.
I can't even
uh,
buy anything with that $1.98 now.
I know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I
Right.
heard. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I heard that they were going after Google for a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, it might be a little bit more money than that, but I don't really know.
But even then, like that would be dispersed to way more people, right? Like there had to been way more people that would be exposed through Google than Facebook, because a lot of the people that use Google's like a common everyday thing for a shit ton of people, and a lot of them that use Google don't even have Facebook.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. Yeah, I don't know,
And I don't know
Scott. I
what the
don't know how it works.
criterias are on getting in on that either. Because I'm sure you got to sign up for to be part of their suit. Um, and then they have like with the Facebook when they had little things there, like it had to be within this time frame and shit.
I'm kind of interested. Let me see. Let me look that up real quick.
Hold on, why you doing that? Let me go pee real quick
All right.
and grab me another drink so I can pee again here in a little while, I guess. All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Blue.
Hmm.
Oh! Oh God! Damn! What the fuck was that, man? What the fuck was that?
Now you're valuable to the company.
Right now, Glacier's figuring out it's just him and Pickle.
I need to somehow warn him that there's a dinosaur out here.
Oh God, he said I need to warn him somehow. There's a dinosaur out here.
Austin, if you can hear me, there is a dinosaur. Austin, if you can hear me, there is a dinosaur. Straight. Go right if you can hear me. There is a dinosaur.
Oh, shit! Get inside! Shut the door!
Okay.
Hit the lever! Hit the lever! Oh my God, man!
Oh fuck it! Around the building over here.
So, I think we all go in together, but we kind of stagger. If you collect dead bodies, we don't get penalized as much.
And you think
Alright.
I'm
Somebody
carrying
else
y'all's
take
dead ass out too?
Just
Dead ass, bestie on God.
leave the walkies, I reckon, since we all got to go that way.
I don't like that. We gotta run. We gotta run and we go different ways.
Look, I heard something down here, so
Well, crouch
be
walk.
prepared.
Wow.
And don't get shot by a fucking turret. Y'all go over there?
We go this way. I hear it. Oh my God, what the fuck is this? Oh, shit. Oh shit.
It fucking ate me. It fucking ate me. It goddamn ate me. Y'all better carry my dead ass out. God fucking beer. They
Well,
just
welcome to the
fucking
Dead
left me.
Club.
They just goddamn left me. I,
Welcome to the Dead
I
Club.
picked up the fuck. All right, I am back.
Huh. The person that sued Google
Yep.
tried to get $5,000 for every user.
Shit.
And in the end, it's just going to be a couple bucks like freaking Facebook.
It's a trend, man. That's the government saying, they're not worth that. Let's give them this little bit right here.
Crazy.
We're at an age now though where we're gonna sue over everything, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sue him for
But,
changing the Monopoly man to not having a monocle.
but that right there is something that should be
Yeah, yeah.
sued, and we should get a couple more than a couple bucks for it.
But if you think about it, okay, let's go back to for a minute to these places buying up all the housing and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, how easy is it for them to install stuff within that house that would spy on you every second of your life? That could hear every single thing that you're saying. I mean, it seems a little weird to me that like a government would sit here and be willing to let all these motherfuckers just buy up that much property and shit without having like without having something in it for them. You know how our government is, man. Like they got their nose stuck in everything. it's
Yep.
it's a little weird, man. Like I what's the world gonna come to in 10 years? You
Yeah, I
look
don't know.
you look at where we're at now. What's it gonna be in 10 years?
Um, I think it's going to be very well. First off, right now, it's very hard for a young person to go out and buy a house on their own.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot harder than it used to be. So if our kids ever became like really financially um, stable and they were earning a really good salary,
Yeah.
what's going to be left to buy in like 20, 30 years, like
Yeah.
our grandchildren, what's going to be left to buy?
Yeah, and you take, man, these people can set whatever prices they want.
Yeah,
And if you don't have the money, where the hell are you gonna live?
true. Um, but yeah, like right now, I don't even know how much it would take for like, you know, to buy an actual house with land, how much it
Yeah.
would take for a young person now.
Well, and
Um,
it's not cheap at all, man, because now some places don't have property tax, but
true.
like on
And
your
some places
home
don't have
loans,
state tax either.
yeah, yeah, and on your home loans, like my home loan, it has the property tax figured in with it.
Yeah, mine
And
too. Mine
yeah,
too.
so it's crazy, man. Like if you don't have, not all loans are like that. If you don't
Mm-mm.
have your property tax included in your loan, you're paying your loan payment plus an inflating property tax because it's always constantly going up a little bit. And people can't afford that, man. Like, there are people now that have to work three jobs, three freaking jobs just to make it.
Yep.
And that's living like not even a normal life. You know, they're still struggling working three jobs and they're not out buying like all kinds of shit and stuff like that. Uh, some of the places in the United States, I don't see how people can afford to live.
No. Okay, so imagine your family just had to happen to be situated in like New York or LA.
Yeah,
Some big city. I I don't even know. I don't know how you make it there.
yeah.
That's like Cini lives in Sydney, and he was talking about the prices of housing there and stuff. It's insane.
That's like Uber with the housing there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is crazy. He said like $1 million for one of the cheapest ones. You know, like it's
Melbourne, and see that's the thing. That's a perfect example. What's happening to Uber?
yeah,
His landlord just decided to raise the
yeah.
price up like exorbitant amount
Well,
on him.
see, that's kind of what's going on there. Like he said, all the rich people and the people not even from there are coming. They have money and they're coming and buying the shit and they're renting it out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's coming to here. So you take our little town. Who owns the majority of the apartment complexes and shit? Like all the
Yeah.
apartments, a bunch of the old houses and stuff. It's like a couple of people that own it all.
Yep. Exactly. And
So
I guess is that going to be just a that's just going to be a nationwide thing?
it's starting to look like it. And then the bad part is, like with here, you run into an issue with one of them, you can't rent from any of them because they all communicate with each other.
Well, and think about it right now. The prices for everything have went up. Gas prices are up. Um, just living in general costs more. So there's people out there. Probably a lot. There's probably a lot of people that have had their houses and their family for a long time, but they're having to sell now just because everything costs so much.
Yeah,
I mean, if somebody came by, and I'm not going to lie, if a corporation came by and they were like, "Hey, we want to give you 20% over market value for your house," I that would be tough to turn down, man. And
well,
then,
what you got to look is if they're willing to give you 20% over market value, if you go to buy another house, you're paying
mhm,
35, 40% over market value.
probably true.
So you would have to downgrade drastically in your housing, you know, like to actually come out ahead.
Were things this complicated when we were young?
Well, the best part about me being young was I didn't have to give a damn. I didn't have to give a damn about anything in the world other than having freaking fun, getting in trouble and having to pay the price for that, but man, loads of freaking fun. And
True.
the world sucks now. I shouldn't
Yeah.
say the world sucks. It's more of the way the world's ran sucks now. And it may have been. It might have been bad like that back in the day, but like when you hear the older people there talking about how bad it is now, I really don't think I've had a lot of older people, my mom and dad included, say it was way easier for them to make it back then than what it is now. And that's with them
Mhm.
making like God, I think dad made like fucking couple bucks an hour or something there at one point, you know, like it wasn't hardly anything. We would look at it and laugh and be like, hell no. But yeah, it's
Think about this. I know you joke around about how old I am. But okay, so when I first started my job, I was working 24 hours a week. Well, first I started working for this dude, cleaning offices, and then I went to Rose's and I was a stock boy. And I'm pretty sure I was making 325 an hour.
Yeah,
325 an hour. With that 325 an hour, working like 24, 28 hours a week, I could go anywhere I wanted to in my car.
yeah,
I could I had money to party when I wanted to. I was able to take my girlfriend out and do stuff.
yeah,
And all this stuff. Plus, I was able to pay my car payment and my insurance.
yeah.
For 325 an hour. Now, of course, that was 100 years ago, according to Scott. But it was about 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, and that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
That's
see, when I first
crazy.
started, I think I was making 475. Was my very first job's pay. And dude, I felt like I was rich. You know, because
Yeah,
I could do all kinds of shit with my paycheck.
I'm pretty
And
sure gas. Yeah, it's way worse now, Vice. I'm pretty sure gas was 80 some cent a gallon. Um, back then too, and
see,
you could.
when I started, man, it was like I think they went up to it was 89 when I first started. And then they would have the occasional weekend where they would make it 79 cent to fill up. And then it
Mhm.
went up to like $1.09 and people were freaking the hell out. And I'm like, it's a fucking $1.09. You know, like I didn't see what was coming in the future. Now I know why people were freaking the fuck out. And
Well, remember drive through, man? I swear you could go get a freaking. Uh, I remember we used to walk over from Rose's to Wendy's, and we'd go set in a buffet. You could have a buffet for like $3 or $4.
oh, remember when KFC had the buffet, man?
Yeah,
I used to sit that eat there for like an hour and a half straight, just fucking eating food out that buffet.
yeah, like all you could eat for like $3 or $4, and then
Yeah,
then you'd get like you could get like a freaking, and they were actually big meals back then
yeah, yeah,
for like $3
yeah.
or two something. And now, God,
Oh,
man,
if you've noticed, even little Debbie cakes are getting littler and littler every freaking year, man. They're getting
they're taking the
littler and
name
littler.
seriously.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, what are you gonna be like bite cakes here soon? Because you ain't gonna be able to call that shit little anymore, you know? It's like microscopic cakes at that point.
Um, you're right. Every single drive-through meal has gotten smaller.
The pizzas
Um,
get smaller.
yeah, and then my God, you take a family out now to get McDonald's,
Oh god.
you looking at like 40 to 50 bucks,
Yep.
man.
I will
That's
literally
crazy.
go and buy two big ass pizzas from our local pizza places and feed the whole family before I can, and it'll be like $10 cheaper. Actually, probably about almost $20 cheaper if I take the whole damn family and get them food. It ends up being like $20 cheaper for like a big ass Sicilian pizza than two Sicilian pizzas than what it is to actually feed everybody from fast food. Like I used to get junior bacon cheeseburgers for like 69 cents, and now they're like 2.69.
Dude, my grandma used to go get us in the summer. McDonald's would have these specials where you could get like a hamburger for 25 cents and a cheeseburger for 35 or something. And Vice is right. Everybody wanted to be out.
Yep,
Everybody wanted to be in an arcade gaming,
yep, yep.
and now everybody just
Oh,
wants to be sitting at
remember they
home,
had that little skate park here?
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
little skating rink thing, and I went and I stayed in my damn shoes because I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm getting out there with damn wheels on both of my feet and busting my ass in front of everybody. But I just went
You
to
know,
hang out, you know.
you know what I remember? You talking about that skating rink, that
Yeah, it was
indoor?
like on the hill up there. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember going there a lot, man. Busting out, busting out some sweet moves.
And I don't know how it is everywhere else, but like here I noticed a trend of like sports, kids quit playing sports as much and shit like that whenever there was nothing here for anybody to do.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't fucking go out and do anything, so they just I guess video games started getting popular at that point. So they're like, hell, I'll just play this video game.
How do people really socialize anymore? Like, is it just the people that have to go to work and that's space, and then they see people in like Walmart or something like that? Like,
Yeah, or school or something, and but it's see, and that's the thing, man. Like we're getting to a point where the only way that they're going to be able to ensure safety in schools is you're going to have to be homeschooled. And when we get to that point, what the hell's the world going to be like then? Because a teacher, you do something wrong, a teacher like disciplines you, right? Like she's
mm-hmm.
probably going to, he or she going to get a little bit mad, raise their voice at you, and let you know you wasn't supposed to send you to the office or whatever. So what happens if those kids who haven't experienced that go onto the job and they get into trouble? They do something wrong. The boss could be worse than a teacher could be. Boss will be
Mm-hmm.
like, "What the hell are you doing?" or something like that. That kid gonna throw a fit. I mean that dude. I should say that grown ass dude gonna throw a fit. He gonna go
Yeah,
down on
like
the floor and start crying and screaming and kicking and shit.
if you don't get discipline at home, you don't get any kind of discipline at school, and then you go. It's like I don't know. It's like some people are setting their kids up and people up for failure, man.
Yeah.
Like the world is not going to hand shit to you. I can tell you that right
The
now.
best fucking saying of all time is the one that Sylvester Stallone did in that damn movie, man. Was it a Rocky movie? Where he was telling that dude the world ain't always sunshine and butterflies or something like that.
Hmm.
Like, if you just listen to that, the whole
He
damn
was telling
thing.
his son that.
Yeah, yeah, the whole damn thing makes so much sense. And he's 100% right. And you know the crazy part? I think he literally wrote that himself for that movie.
Yeah, 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 Vice. You for sure. You're out and you see it more than I do for sure because you work outside. And when I can tell you, man, when I was at the hospitals not that long ago, there's a lot of people that they weren't raised right.
Yeah. Well,
They.
like you said, they're spoiled too. They're too fucking spoiled now. Like anything they want, they get to hand it to them.
Hmm.
I didn't have that, man. There were times where I wanted a damn candy bar. My mom and dad's like, no, we are not getting that. We don't need that. And at that point in time, when you're a kid, you don't realize what that means. But then once you get a little older and you got your bills and shit to pay, you realize what they meant by you don't need that. Because there's things that you need and there's things that you want. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
damn, Vice, that's crazy, man.
I'm pretty sure I had a niece and some nephews that had phones before they could before they could walk. Well, maybe not phones, but they were definitely holding controllers in their hand before they could walk.
That is crazy.
But then, that's what's wrong with a lot of the shit now. Like a lot of the kids, we didn't grow up with social media and shit. We didn't grow up with the internet and all that shit. Like we grew up living life, like doing shit. We didn't grow up in this virtual world just thrown out there full of bullshit. Cuz that's what 98% of the fucking internet is
Hmm.
bullshit. You gotta search for hours upon hours to actually find a legit story in anything now. But yeah, I mean, you go through that, you look online and all you see is like depressing shit. You just see people talking shit to everybody all the time. You're probably gonna grow up to be a little bit toxic. And I think the
Oh,
gaming industry proves that, right? And it's somewhat in the streaming industry too.
yeah, yeah. And I don't honestly, man. It seems like the world frowns upon um, people doing discipline now.
Yeah,
So I don't really know how it's going to change, man.
yeah, it's gonna get worse. We're either gonna turn into the wimpiest country ever to exist, or we're just it could be both actually. The wimpiest, most psychotic country to ever exist.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet peaches. The sweet peaches live yet?
And I don't know. You know what I hate?
Hmm.
I hate when people host out to somebody, right? And then they got a thing on there where you can't even type or anything in their chat
Yeah,
unless you
yeah,
follow
yeah.
them first.
Yeah, typically if they're not already following me, I just go ahead and look for somebody else to pull up in that spot.
Sweet Peaches is not online.
All right. She will be here in a little bit.
Oh, I was gonna look at this real
What
quick.
is this, man?
What?
So I'm not gonna say the name, but there's a pretty popular streamer.
Yeah, Tandy. I hate that. I hate that. Hey, Nightshade. Are you a streamer on Kick, Nightshade? Um
Their Be Right Back bathroom thing says Jerkmate stream tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Tandy, that's 100% right. Nobody can talk at all till they hit the follow button.
Yeah, I don't like that, man. Cause how are you supposed to get a feel for who the person is? Like, come in and chat and ask me some shit.
Yeah. Nightshade, I gave you a follow. Hey, Hickman, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, Tandy. Hope you're doing well, Hickman. Yeah, yeah. I hate that, man. I was gonna drop a follow on somebody that somebody just got hosted out to,
Yeah,
but then I saw that and I was like, nah,
yep,
not going
yep.
to. I don't like seeing that at all. I don't like seeing that at all. Like tackle, come on.
Well, that would be like having a subscriber only chat.
I've been there too.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it. I've been in one or two that was like that, and I left immediately.
Now, I could see, okay, say you're a massive streamer,
Yeah.
and you can't even read your chat, or people are trolling you real hard. Say you're in a tournament or something, and you finish terribly, and people are trolling you, or something. I could see then if you were a big streamer
Yeah.
and you can't, maybe you can't read your chat or you're getting trolled like crazy. Maybe then, but people that have I I went to streams where people had 5 viewers and
Yeah.
they had it on follow only.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's let's get real. Let's get a little bit real here.
Lady Banana comes in and says the pinned message.
I don't know if the pin message was the original Hawking thing or when
Yeah,
we were
well,
talking
hold
about how
on.
much money it
I haven't
was.
watched it yet. Let me pull it over on my thing here, and let me check it out. That's the only thing I'm not sure about, if they were underage or
It's
not.
probably
But
where we were talking about how
who in there?
much.
It would have had to have been no amount of
I
money.
think Vice pinned one
Nobody could have
where you
came
were
up to
talking
me and
about,
said, "I'll give you
maybe
$10 million
Brad Pitt
if you give
or
Stephen Hawking a hand job."
or
No,
Franco.
no, yeah,
I don't know. 10 million is a lot of money.
no.
10 million is a lot of money.
I'll stay broke. Now, they could have been like Brad Pitt. I might have been like, all right, here, yeah.
Oh no, you wouldn't. You'd be looking right into his beautiful eyes.
James Franco. I'd be like, hey, what's up?
Jay Franco, I'd be like, hey.
Uh,
Oh
now,
damn.
that's a name I could have definitely seen on that list too.
Yeah, yeah. I've actually heard he was. But then I think these people that were coming out with these lists were just looking at people that like people could see doing the shit. And but if you're doing that, wouldn't you put like R. Kelly on there?
Yeah, James Franco, I could definitely see for sure. R. Kelly,
Yeah,
freaking Bill Cosby.
yeah.
I mean, there's some ones that I could see for sure coming out later.
It's probably not over.
No, it's not. It's not over. But every day on TikTok, I could see I see like people posting fake names that haven't come out yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
maybe they will.
yeah. Maybe they will.
Maybe they will.
Uh,
Maybe they will.
I don't know, man. I still think the broader picture we'll never see
We may not.
because it
Oh,
takes
thanks
a
again, Vice, for the shout outs and the clips and everything.
oh Vice is on the
And
ball, man.
definitely shout out Berg Mama because she streams every now and then, but we kind of wish that she would stream more.
Yeah, she needs to stream all the time. Yeah, man. It takes a really big like the whole trafficking thing with as big of a system as what it is. I have a really hard time believing that all the governments aren't involved in it too. There's no way that that shit happens without government influence. It's just I don't know, man. Lady Banan,
Um,
you never know what is going to be talked about on this podcast.
yeah. Uh, yeah. I, I I was looking here too. Oh yeah. Whatever happened with that one school shooting, Scott? The one in
Uh,
Iowa.
I didn't read a whole lot into it to start with. I just seen where I think it was a total of six people got shot, but one of them was the only death was the shooter. Um, I don't think he killed anybody, but you know, people got fucking shot that shouldn't have been shot.
Did you see that Alaskan Airlines flight?
Yeah, man, did you see the craziest part about that? Besides, they don't know how the hell the door came off. The craziest part about that is an iPhone dropped from like 20,000 feet in the air and did not break.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How?
Imagine being the company that made that phone case.
Yeah, that case has got to be something else, man.
Now, the bad part is I think they said the person that the phone belonged to got sucked out too. Uh
Are you serious?
from what I understood, man.
How many
Um
people? I didn't even know people died in that,
I didn't
man.
either. Like I just heard a thing. God, what the hell did I hear that on? It was on the radio on Sirius XM. They were talking about it, and it blew my mind about the iPhone not breaking.
Well, I just saw where they found the door in Portland, Oregon. Missing part of Alaska Airlines plane is found in Portland, Oregon.
Damn.
Wow.
Slump, how's it going, man?
Let's see. Yeah.
Vice, you doing a hell of a job. Hell of a job, sir.
Boeing stock
Appreciate you.
plunged after that. Yeah, that there is one. There's a video of the phone falling 16,000 feet and it still works.
Yeah, man.
That's
Imagine that.
crazy. That's crazy.
Now, I remember when you would look at an iPhone and the screen would break on it. Like back when iPhones first came out, man, shit, they were fragile as hell. My son got a hold of man, it was like an iPhone 3 or 4 or something like that. And he got a hold of it, man. And I was like, "Hey, give me that phone." And he was like real little, his fucking little feet patterned across the floor, laughing like hell. And I got almost to him and he chucked it. And when he chucked it, man, I picked it up and it was just shattered. I
Hold
couldn't
on.
even get mad there.
I gotta look. You know how we were talking about earlier. I need to listen to that whole Cat Williams thing. Um, somebody. Uh, no, he was giving out an award. There was a comedian that was giving out an award, and it was a new award to the Golden Globes, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "I don't even know how I got here, because I'm just a small. I was just from a small town. I didn't have any money." And he's like, "And I'm not a pedophile." Uh, he's basically saying, "How did he get to be in Hollywood?" And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
and then he was like, "We're doing a new category today, but maybe in the future we'll have a pedophile category uh, up here." And I can't remember the comedian that said it, but that circles back to that Cat Williams thing, the Lil Nas
Yeah.
X. Uh, you know, I'm curious now. I mean, may have been his whole thing for people to get curious and interested and check him out when his new album
Yeah,
dropped.
yeah.
It could
Well,
just be a big play.
and that might be what Tyrese meant when he was like, "You need to stop playing with God." Like
Hmm.
he that's probably what he's suspecting. Now, if Lil Nas comes out and he's got like this big Christian album, then I might think, maybe this dude's like changing a little bit, but I
Yeah, if he
highly
comes
doubt
out
it.
with his regular albums, the way I mean the regular album like the last one was,
Yeah, yeah.
he's full of shit.
I
Like,
mean, DMX even changed his tune a little bit when he became a preacher, you know? Like he he found God, but I think all along he kind of believed in God, but he just really he didn't follow all the stuff. But then he still got in a little bit of trouble in his older days
oh
too.
yeah, DMX running naked around a hot
Yeah.
hotel.
Uh
Uh, but I miss old DMX, man.
oh, he was a hell of a rapper, man.
Yeah, I love listening to DMX.
I don't think
Uh,
anybody else could ever bark like him.
he was one of those rappers that would get you fired up, man.
Yep, yep.
You know,
He's getting ready to get into a fight, man. You slap some
that
DMX on
that's
and
the one. That's the
shit's
one you
on.
wanted on
Yep, yep.
DMX. Yeah. Um. Really, the only other really big news right now, Scott. Other than a lot of the stuff we covered, and then we found little side things too. But is the border crisis, and how many people are uh, coming over, and how some of the southern states are busing people up to the northern uh, cities, and they're trying. Some of the Republican congressmen are trying to go after I think it's the Homeland Security guy, or the guy that controls the border policies.
Yeah, yeah.
They're trying to kick him out.
Yeah, you can see Border Patrol, the guy that's actually over top of Border Patrol has been screaming for years that they are way understaffed, they are way under equipped for like everything that's coming across. And he's been wanting help forever now, and they just won't give it to him. Now, I have man, look at it this way. So somebody's bringing 1,000 pounds of marijuana across the border, right? You're a border patrol agent, and these some bitches say, "Here's $1 million if you keep your mouth shut." Shit, take that weed on across there. Let me get a bag of it real quick. Like, but if it's fentanyl or something like that, I couldn't do it. If it's, trafficking people across, I couldn't do it. But something like marijuana, I could.
I'm sure there are people that are.
Yeah, yeah. There are most definitely ones that will take hell fucking way lower bribes.
Oh
Cause
yeah.
you take
Well,
like
that's
10
just like
grand, that could be a life changer to somebody.
well, and plus, not only that, Scott. Some of them are like, you take this bribe, or we're put my hat backwards.
Hell, they probably come and
Uh,
call you by your name.
or they I'll turn. You know what? I'll turn my hat backwards. There we go. There we go. um. Oh God. The back part of it kind of wants to slide up.
That
Uh.
big ass forehead. What's that damn? What's that, a basketball backboard?
One second.
My hats are pretty much molded
Surprisingly enough,
backwards.
Scott, this my big ass head and this freaking hat has expanded, and it tries to slip off of it.
My hats are molded backwards. If I put them on forward, it don't even fit right. It's like so stretched out. Because if you wear it backwards, it stretches it out even more.
Yeah, like it's crazy, man. Um, let's see here. One second. See, that's the thing, man.
Dub on
How
it.
how are they gonna fix this? Because okay, think about this. Not only are they offering money to people, right? They're probably also threatening some of these people.
Yep, yep.
The cartel's probably like, uh, we're gonna give you this money and you're gonna take it, or we're gonna come after your families because they have the cartel has went after CIA agents.
Yeah. They're not afraid
Uh,
of anything.
they're not afraid of anything. So, I mean, what do you do? Like, what? How are we going to fix it? Because there are really good people that work really hard and cause no problems, and that it would take them. Their families are dying or their
Yeah,
families are
yeah.
getting threatened. They're going to try to get across. They'll try anything to get across.
Well, you
And
take, we probably pay a postal worker as much as what we pay a border patrol agent. Like, who's got the worst job? You gotta pay the price to actually like get the people to do the job right too. Like
yeah,
it's it's crazy, man. Like I honestly think if we wanted to stop the cartel, we could. We could stop them in an instant. Would it cause a war between us and the Mexican government? More than likely, because the Mexican government's also getting money from the cartel. But I would say our United States government is 100% taking in funds from the cartel, and that there's no way that you get that mass amount of shit coming across the border without us getting something from it. And if you look at it, yeah, we get what? We get like maybe 10% of what comes across the border. You got to get a little bit to make it look like you're doing something to fight it. You couldn't just let it all come up and then everybody knows it's coming from there and then be like, "Oh, we're not catching it."
I I think we can definitely do some things to slow it down.
Yeah.
I just don't know how we'll ever stop it. Like you said, what was it? 4 or 5 million interactions for Obama and Trump,
Yeah.
and now under Biden, it's up to like 12 billion
Yeah. Yeah.
interactions. So
It's more
yeah,
than doubled, from
right.
Trump or Obama. Obama and Trump had pretty much the same amount. And with
And I'm
Biden
I'm
in,
guessing it
it's
was probably about the same in the Bush years.
yeah, it seemed like it
And
was kind of actually I think it was more in the Bush years because if I'm not mistaken, Obama's actually the one who started getting stricter on
he
the
did,
illegal immigration. And
yeah,
then Trump pretty much just kind of followed along with it, but he was like, we need to put a wall up all across the whole border. And that way you got one entry point. But he was talking about this massive wall, and it's like one that you could put a 40-foot step or 40-foot extension ladder up and climb right over it.
right.
But
Or a tunnel under it,
yeah,
like there.
and the thing is, like he he had the right idea. He meant well by what he was doing, but the funds that it would take to make what we need in place, because you're going to have a wall. It's going to have to be a total of like 300 foot, because you're going to have at least 100 or 200 of that in the ground, and then
Yeah,
the other above it. It would be like the iceberg effect, like he meant well, but at the same time, I think that we should have the technology in place to where we could sense where these tunnels and shit are located. I mean, they could do like ground sonar and shit like that, like they do to find certain artifacts and shit. So if we did that, what happens if we just blast a shit ton of water through all those tunnels.
Yeah. Well, then would we have big sinkholes everywhere?
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how you handle it. If you
Yeah.
like, if you explode it, does it cause? Would it
Hell, just
cause sink?
put a bunch of freaking some kind of gas through there or something. Blow that shit through there, and whoever's in that son of a bitch. Sorry about your luck, man, but
Yeah, I see. That's a crazy thing. I just don't. Our border is so big, man, and we're surrounded by ocean, so people could take boats.
yeah,
So we have to have massive more money for our Coast Guard.
yeah,
Massive, like if we ever built a wall, it would have to be huge, going underneath the ground, and then we'd have to have people with sonar technology going around.
yeah.
Then we'd have to have drones probably flying up around everywhere, and then and then we'd probably have to have like uncorruptible humans
Or
uh,
AIs.
in control of it. And then the AI one day might be like, "Man, look at that mom trying to get her baby over here. Who's the bad guy? Maybe the bad guy is the people I work for." Uh,
I
I
still
don't
like
know,
my
dude. I
idea
don't
of
know what to do, man. I don't.
I
I
like
don't
my
know what the
idea of
solution is.
automated turrets, man. Anything within a certain, 50 yards on the
That's
other side of that
true.
wall.
That's true, Cenie. Cenie said live on an island way out in the ocean like he does. No
Oh, then
wall
you
needed.
just got fucking. They can get it. They can get from everywhere. Then
They got a long damn way to go, though.
they just pull up their boat and get off and be gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I believe there should be a system in place for good people, good, hardworking people that want to pay a tax to come in and support their families, to save their families and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you got
That's
to give
that's
them a number
faster,
like we have. Everybody that
right?
comes over's got to have some type of a number to where you. If I'm being tracked, why the hell shouldn't they be tracked?
Yeah,
I mean, if they would.
and but then we're just right now. It's like a free for all. The system's just overwhelmed, and I mean, I get their point. I get what they're doing. The southern governors and stuff are sending, the immigrants in busload after busload after busload to like Chicago and New York, and then they're
Yeah, 'cause
finding out
those
how
are the
hard it is to
primary
take care of them.
supporters that were like, we need to let them all in.
Yeah,
And I mean, they're doing it to prove a point. They're saying, look, y'all wanted them, y'all take them.
we're
We're gonna ship them up. We're
we're
gonna
just
fly them
going
up.
through the same struggle right now that the European countries have had for a long time. Who to let in and who not to let in.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And see,
yeah,
that's where the vetting process comes in. Now, even with the vetting process, you're gonna have bad people that are gonna make it through. So it's not gonna stop like all the crime and shit like that. Like, and to be honest with you, there's only like a fraction of the crime that actually comes from our border.
right.
The majority of it's American on American crime, like a shit ton of it is
Yeah.
American on American. Now, is it going to be publicized more if it's somebody that came across the border? Yes. And
Mhm.
I have mixed feelings about that because I think that it's a good thing because it does show that we do have, an immediate crisis at the border because we're not able to tell exactly who's coming in. But at the same time, when you publicize it the way you do, then people even look at the people who are here legally in a different way. Uh, you know, it's crazy, man. Like I remember, and hell, this was back. Hell, this has been a good little while ago, man. You remember when our Burger King shut down? Okay,
Yeah.
there were I think it was in the 20s, like 20 some people from Mexico that they caught living inside of that vacant Burger King building. Every one of them were illegal. Now, I don't know what they did to them. From what I understood, they all worked and stuff like that. They had grills set up inside to where they were grilling food and stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, nobody had a clue they were there until finally one day somebody found it out. So that was 20 some people, undocumented people, that nobody had a clue was there.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if that was a group of like 20 terrorists that had made it through that weren't documented?
That's yeah, that's another question that's going on right now. Because they have been finding people coming across. Now, I don't know the exact numbers because it will, in some stories it'll be inflated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
But
there are,
regardless, they're coming across.
right, there's people from like Middle Eastern countries, people from China,
Yeah,
people. Now, if you believe some of the news stories, they'll say hundreds of thousands
yeah, yeah.
of fighting age men are in here, and
I
I
think it's
don't.
thousands, but I have a
It's
hard time
probably
believing it's
thousands,
hundreds of thousands.
but at the same time, here's the thing: a lot of those Middle Eastern countries, if you don't follow strictly with the way they want you to do things,
Yeah,
you might want to get out of there
yeah.
because they might just kill you.
Well,
Or
and
in China, it's the same way. If you don't follow along with the government plan, you might want to find a way to get out of there.
I think the scary
Oh,
fart.
shit.
I think the scary fart for people. Uh, the scary part is, it's like it is. It's middle-aged men. It's like military-aged men,
Hmm.
and it's that's where it gets kind of scary at. Now they may be coming across and they're perfectly normal people who just want to live a life, and they might be escaping because it's hell in a lot of those countries. Uh, but you'll never know because they didn't come through and get vetted and stuff like that. Like we don't have a clue. We never got to the opportunity to do a background check on them.
Right,
And
right.
some of these people that aren't good people, we're giving them their citizenship and we're giving them like $15,000 checks. And we're saying, "Welcome to America, start a life." That's our tax money. Our tax money that I mean, we'll go back to it there where that's money that could be used to provide people with health care. But we're throwing it to them as they come across illegally, right? And we're providing them with free health care and not charging them taxes.
Yeah, it the system definitely needs to change. Um, for sure. I just don't know. I mean, see, that's the thing that sucks. I can think of some ideas to improve it. We definitely have to. We need more border security. That's for sure.
Well, one of
And
the things that they started was that the catch and release. If you catch somebody and you see that they're illegal, you got to release them back. Like, why do that? They're not going to do that for me if I go into Mexico illegally. They're not going to
right,
catch and release me. If they do, they're going to release me back to the United States, and I'm probably going to be in jail here. Like it's one of those things. Like you got to the whole. the whole purpose of having those laws in existence to start with is so that people will follow those laws.
That's true.
Like, if they're not following those
Now,
laws, why the hell should I follow any law that our government made?
now that gets a little crazy too. Imagine if all of a sudden we had 12 million more inmates. How much more would we have to spend on freaking inmates too?
Oh, the taxes would go
All
up
the
freaking
taxes.
ridiculous. And
Dude, I don't like I don't know what the best solution is, but like I was a guy that was like, a few years ago, I was a guy that was kind of like, man, if I was in that situation, what would I do to get out? I felt, but now I realize that our country just can't sustain. We can't take in everybody. There has to be a process.
yeah,
We have to find good people,
well, and
but
see,
they're
that's
they're probably
why
got to streamline that process somehow.
the way that they actually have the immigration process set up is we're supposed to have a set amount of immigrants that we allow in every year. And it's to help balance like the population and stuff like that, and to make sure that like we're gonna have enough jobs for everybody. All of those things, like it's important that you do that. You gotta have balance, and that comes in with like budgeting and shit like that. And just think how much I guess less of a debt ceiling that we would have right now if for years upon years we weren't, paying illegal immigrants health care, or, giving them money to come over here and start a life, and they're illegal. Like, the cost of that just adds up. And, it's stuff that they're not factoring in their budgets and stuff like that. It's something you shouldn't even have to factor in because you have laws like saying that that shit shouldn't happen. It's crazy. Like, I know times are rough everywhere around the
Hmm.
world, but they're rough here too.
No, yeah, they're rough for everybody.
Like, before you can say, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and open our border, you have to make sure that every American is being taken care of. And they're not doing that, man. Like, if I can't go afford a medical procedure. When I went to my doctor, right? Then she asked me if I've been taking my baby aspirin every day. And I said, well, there comes a point in time in life where you have to choose what you're going to sacrifice to be able to make sure you can pay all your bills. That baby aspirin's costing me money, so even if I got to sacrifice my health for now, I'm going to make sure that, I pay my full house payment, my full light bill, my full internet bill. I said, because those are necessary things. She said, well, your medicine's necessary too. And I said, but not if I can't afford it. So she wrote me a prescription for it. And this whole time where I've been paying that full cost, I could have saved a shit ton of fucking money by the prescription. Now, what's that doing in turn? Because I couldn't afford to buy it over the counter, the insurance is having to pay for it, so the insurance rate gets hiked.
Yeah,
But I can't afford the shit over the counter is what they want for aspirin now.
I didn't even know you could do that, Scott.
There is a I don't
I'm supposed to take baby aspirin all the time, and I didn't even know you could get it as a prescription.
I have it's straight on the label too, aspirin. She's like, I
Wow.
don't know if your insurance will cover it or not, but it's worth a shot. Sure enough, the insurance covered it. I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I had no clue. Had no clue that you could get aspirin as a over the counter.
I
I
did
mean,
not
a
either.
behind the counter, I guess I should say.
Wow.
Yeah, check into that. Check in to see if your doctor can write you a prescription for it. And then you might be stuck paying what, like 20% of the cost of the aspirin or something?
I That's kind of nutty, man.
But yeah, man. I mean, I think that's what irritates people more than anything. Even more than the possibility of there being like terrorist threats, would be the drugs coming across. Because look how many Americans have died every year from the drug overdoses from the drugs that come over. I mean
True.
that in its own is like a big loss there. That's a lot of families that's being affected by people who aren't here anymore because the drug was just brought over here. Uh, but I have no idea, man. I don't know if they'll ever fix it. The other option is we have open borders all around the world, I guess.
Yeah.
But in order for that to happen, there's one other thing that has to happen before that. The New World Order has to be in control of all the governments around the world.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. All right, fella. Um, did you have anything else today?
I don't know if I left this thing up or not that I seen. Um,
We're probably gonna have to do. Sadly, we're gonna probably have to do some election stuff soon.
so did you see the thing, man, where shit, I can't even think of his name now. What's his nuts? The comedian Joe Coy
Yeah.
made the joke at the Golden Globes.
Oh, what did he say?
And people are unimpressed by it.
They're unimpressed.
Let me find the quote of exactly what he said. If I can find it, let's see. Um, get past all the BS here. All right, he said, "Give me the exact joke. Are y'all not gonna?" All right, man. All right. Here's what he said. Oppenheimer is based on a 721-page Pulitzer Prize winning book about the Manhattan Project, and Barbie is on a plastic doll with big boobies. Like, and then he says, it says he went on to say the key moment in Barbie is when she goes from perfect beauty to bad breath, cellulite, and flat feet, or what casting directors a call character actor.
So
Like,
people were mad about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Wow.
And then when nobody hardly laughed, a few people laughed, but when not many people laughed, he said, "Some I wrote, some other people wrote." So I don't know. He even said that he watched Barbie. I've never watched it,
I haven't watched it either.
but are they going to try to cancel him now because he made a joke about Barbie and big boobs and then like the difference between what Barbie looked like in the movie compared to what she would really look like in person. I guess he was referencing the actor herself, the
Yeah.
actress. You know, they prepped her up to look like Barbie in the movie, but
Here's the thing, man. unless people, I don't get what happened to our society. Unless people are being like incredibly hurtful and saying like the worst possible thing. Why can't comedians tell a joke? Like it's a joke, man.
Yeah.
Why can't people tell a joke?
Well, and
Like
the shit, the comedians we grew up listening to, like, come on, man. If those people tried to be comedians today, they would literally, like, get ruined completely.
oh, hell, the movies, Scott.
Yeah, the
Remember
shows.
freaking Blazing Saddles?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
You had,
the stuff people, the things people used to be able to joke about and talk about, and uh, you know,
and, you know,
I
everybody,
know, Steenie, Eddie Murphy Raw coming out right now. Oh my god.
I still think everybody seemed to get along better, too, then. Like whenever they did have the shows like that shit, fucking what would they have did with Al Bundy in today's world?
Al Bundy would be tough to deal with too.
Like I mean it's crazy. Like I don't know how many times he called Peg fat and I'm looking like maybe that ass, but you
Yeah,
know,
there's nothing wrong with Peg.
no.
Nothing wrong with Peg.
But yeah, I seen that earlier there and I was like that's
Well,
just
let me look it up, man. Dave Chappelle just got canceled again for some joke that he made. Uh,
heck man. Oh shit. You have yourself a great night, Hickman. We love you, fella. We will catch you tomorrow if you on. You only stream like a couple days a week though, but we will holler at you, fella. You have yourself a great night.
I guess he said something about. I think this is what gets him in the most trouble right now. Is um because every now he talks about trans people.
Yeah, yeah. And where do we come as a society though, where like it's wrong to he doesn't discriminate against anybody. He jokes about every freaking body.
Everybody, his wife is Asian,
Yeah, yeah,
and he jokes about Asians.
yeah,
He jokes about black people. He
yeah.
jokes about white people. He jokes about everybody.
And have you ever been offended whenever he made a joke about white people?
No,
I have
I know.
laughed my ass off at that motherfucker talking about white people.
I know. It's
Like,
I.
how did we become that in a society, you know, where like all of a sudden everything just offended us? I don't get it, man. It's
I
like
don't
somebody
either.
flipped a switch because I don't remember it. Then all of a sudden, all it took was like, I guess one person. And then it's like everybody just joined in.
Well, and what's comedy going to be in? What's comedy going to be in 20 or 30 years?
They probably won't exist. Not at this rate. Because you're not going to be able to say anything funny.
No, you're not going to. I don't get it. Yeah,
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 Vice.
Vice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. Are comedians just going to become a thing of the past? Like
Probably
I
so.
because that's how they make news now.
And I can't
Like
think of really what could they say that would be funny if like they didn't do what they did now, you know? Like that's like what's his nuts? God, what's that younger dude, man?
I know you're talking about. Oh
They were on
God,
his ass for some shit.
the
God,
younger
I watch that dude all
comedian.
the time. He's funny as hell. He picks out people
He's
from the
a
audience all the
yeah.
time.
He's a white dude.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Damn
funny
it,
as
dude.
hell.
They just got him. They just went after him
Yeah.
not too long
This is the
ago.
second time now. He did something else that they're after him. Oh
Yeah, but
God, Eddie Murphy was that motherfucker was crazy as shit. I liked Chris Rock too. Chris
yeah,
Rock got
Eddie
up there and
Murray,
said some crazy shit.
man, I think we grew up in kind of a golden age of comedy, Scott.
No,
There were so many good people.
what about? Do you think that they could do it now? All right, remember when Chris Rock he was in that one movie, man, and he dies and he comes back as the old white guy.
Now, what's that, Scott?
Chris Rock in that one movie, he dies and he comes back as the old white guy.
Yeah,
That and then you had oh God, why can't I think of their name? I watch those motherfuckers all the time, man. The twins, or not twins, but they're brothers, Wayans
the
brothers,
Wayans brothers.
where
Yeah,
they played white chicks.
yeah.
Now, in all reality here, do you think that that role could be reversed at all?
Sorry, fella, I was talking to Hickman.
Do you think that that role could be reversed at all?
Uh-uh. No, I don't think so.
And you know,
Well, they asked Robert Downey Jr. could that role be played now, and he was like, I mean, you could try, but I
yeah,
don't think
yeah,
so. But you know what was funny, man? He said in Tropic Thunder where he played you know, the black dude. He said that you know who took the most flack was freaking Ben Stiller
yeah,
for because he was
yeah.
playing you know
I'm mentally
the
challenged.
mentally
Yeah,
challenged. Yeah, he took all the flack for
yep,
it.
yep. And it's terrible that it's a freaking comedy movie, a fucking great comedy movie. I love watching that movie. But yeah, what about Tom
I
Hanks?
I don't think it could be made now.
What
I
about
don't
Tom
think.
Hanks?
Mm-hmm.
He played freaking Forrest Gump.
Right.
What about Adam Sandler? Waterboy.
Yeah.
Why didn't they catch any shit for it? You know, like I
Well, there's a line in that movie which I can't repeat right now.
wait, which one?
Never go.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Never go
So,
full Cine.
so yeah, yeah. Poor simple Jack. Oh God.
It's one of those things, man. Like we've become so I don't I think I don't know, man. I don't even I think it's spiteful. I think people literally look at everything and try to find something that they can pick out that they can just say about it in a negative way, you know? Like it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about that too. The whole cancel culture thing is stupid as hell anyways.
Yep.
Like
It is.
if you don't like something or something offends you, don't fucking watch it. We had 3 TV channels back in the day. 3. Think if something fucking offended us back in the day. We would never watch TV.
Your Irish employees are baffled by like the cancel culture and all that. Liberty. Yeah. Yeah. It's I saw. Okay. So I don't live in a big city, Scott, and I'm not sure if this is what happens, but I saw a thing on TikTok, right? Um, uh, what? Who is Steve Hughes,
Is
Sini?
he talking about Steve Irwin?
What's that, Liberty? You talking about? You talking about Stephen Hawkins?
Or
Sini?
Steve Irwin? I wonder if Steve Irwin
Oh,
went to the island.
An Aussie comedian. Okay.
Yeah, what?
Uh,
After he said that, I may have heard of that dude.
um,
I think I seen him on YouTube
I
on a
saw a
compilation.
TikTok video, Scott, and this kind of explains sort of. I don't know if it happens right now or not, but it sort of explains where we're going to. People are going to the barber in a big city in the States and then down in Australia and New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
In the States, they walk up to the barber and the barber's like, "Do I have permission to touch you? I need permission to touch you." And then the person's like, "Yeah." And then down in Australia and New Zealand, they ask the same question and they're like, "You got to cut my hair. Of course you got to touch me." And then they go back, they flip back to the United States, and they're like, "What's your pronouns?" And then the United States are like, "She them," or "he her," or they would say it, and then the Australian guys were like, "I'm a dude," you know. And then it just kept going, and the Australian and New Zealand guy just walked out. And then that just kind of like they were like, screw this place.
Yeah,
um
well, the worst part, all right, how long before it starts happening everywhere? Because we're kind of like I don't know how the youngest freaking country ends up being like the leader of everybody, right? But people, like, even their politics are starting to slowly turn into our type of politics, like the fighting and shit like that. And so what happens when all this other stuff just spreads all around the world?
yeah,
I mean,
well,
maybe at that point we would get to a time where it would be like everybody's too wimpy to fight. It would be a boring
have
ass
a
world.
have a good movie night, Devil. Appreciate you.
Yeah, devil. You tell your wife to be a little nicer to you too, man.
You
Tell her to
know,
be a little nicer.
and you know what? This is for Liberty. Tell Jeannie, tell Jeannie we appreciate her too.
Yep,
Appreciate you.
appreciate her.
Yeah, appreciate you. Liberty hates that.
I legit
Liberty,
thought Devil was gonna get killed the other day, man. You were holding him up. I
oh,
thought
it
he
was
was a
my
goner.
fault. I thought I was gonna cause Devil's death.
Oh, I thought his
Uh,
balls were getting cut off, and it was gonna be Hoki's fault.
yeah, I'm still sorry about that, Devil. Liberty says she dreams that stupid phrase. But we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
She probably
We
tells people at
appreciate you,
work that
Liberty.
we
Yeah, she
appreciate you.
does. I hear her on her
Yep,
phone calls all the time saying, "I appreciate
yep, yep.
you." uh, that's about all I got for today, Scott. We might have to. I know they're about to release more on the Epstein thing. I know we're going to talk politics here coming up, and of course we're going to have to swing a little bit toward the conspiracies and
Yeah, yeah.
paranormal a little
Oh,
bit too.
well, and with the good part is with anything that happens, conspiracies surround it.
Oh yeah,
So every damn thing, the Epstein list, the thing in Miami there, everything that's happening, man, the election getting ready to come up, everything that's happening's got conspiracies just surrounding it. So there's plenty of conspiracies, new
yeah,
ones.
yeah. And I mean that thing you sent me about how Clinton reacted when they
Yeah,
asked him,
yeah.
they were like, they released the Epstein list, and you're on there a bunch of times. What do you think? And what do you say? The facts?
The facts speak for themselves.
The facts speak for themselves, and then then the guy started showing photos of him and Epstein together,
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
Well, and he
So
said it with a big ass smile on his face, man.
yeah, like
And,
I was like, Clinton, what are you doing now? He should have been like, he should have been like, you know, go check out the facts or
yeah.
get your facts
Did I
right or
get
something like that.
charged with anything or
But he was
something?
like, he had a big smile and
Yep.
said that, and I was like,
It
damn
was
it, man.
almost like when he smiled, it was kind of a hesitation. Then he got a big smile, like he remembered one of the times or something.
Oh God.
He's like, yeah, facts speak for
Oh God.
themselves.
I hope not. I hope not. Oh my God. Oh. But yeah, Clinton. The thing was, he was one of our last presidents that could work between the two freaking
Yeah,
parties. And we've lost all ability to do that now. It just so happened that it seems like he's a freak.
and he wasn't really out to fuck us.
The cigar, yeah, Monica Lewinsky,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then and now this,
I think that's
uh,
what he meant when he meant he didn't inhale that cigar.
that cigar. Uh, well, fella, I think it's about time to shut this one down.
Yep, I am hungry as hell.
I mean, I ate some during the podcast because Liberty brought me some.